All right, well, that was good. Glad everybody liked that.
Live. I think.
Are we live? Oh, let me go to your channel. 1 sec.
Oh, now it should pop up.
Yeah, shit. I got my phone went off, so that means you went live. Yep.
Yep, there it is. There's a commercial. Minus with tech tips.
All right, rare.
All right. Hey. Yeah, I like that right there. 42, 23, 12, 11, 6, 6. Okay.
I mean, why the hell would IGN readers be? Oh God, I didn't want to get it.
Well, I don't have a problem with this. It's just a snap poll, so I don't have an issue with a snap poll because they're just talking about the new features.
Yeah,
they were confirmed. We all knew this was going to happen. I was shocked about one of the features, but we all pretty much knew what this is going to have.
I said for the longest that the PS5 was going to have, at a minimum, PS4 backwards compatibility because it's x86 architecture. It's pretty much PC.
Yeah. Day one just makes sense of work. Day one.
Every console from here on forward, unless they change the architecture, which I doubt, they're going to stick with what PC's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, you know,
the only thing that wouldn't work is PS3, and we already know that's just not going to happen. I don't know, dude. Just we just broke that shit out. We just going to that expensive novelty.
the what?
Backwards compatibility. We basically called it like an expensive novelty in a way.
Yeah, it's the mashed. It's the mash. It's the garlic mashed potatoes.
Like it's just we talk about it, but the sad part is, and especially with this gen, they proved that a lot of motherfuckers don't even use that feature, backwards compatibility. A lot of them don't use them.
Yeah, that is true.
So Microsoft started putting the spotlight on. Hey, did you know backwards compatibility was this? Then motherfuckers started talking about backwards compatibility.
And most of their stuff is emulated, so it's not true backwards compatibility. Most of their stuff is running on an emulator.
You guys cannot bash backwards compatibility. What's called backwards?
What's up? All right.
The Godfather of the Nation.
Yo, my bad, Puerto Rock. I'm a little late, man. Yo, it's mad traffic.
You got it, man.
To get that curry goat, you know what I mean?
You're eating that. New York makes the best curry.
Yeah, facts. Yo, they be mad too.
I love
them posts.
We do them shits. Yo, he don't care what it is. He's like, yo, it could be any food product. New York makes it the best.
They be tight, yo. They be tight.
New York has the best barbecue. Yo, that one had me dying. You had so many people from the South. Oh shit, they went at you with that one.
Hey man,
this man said the best. Kiss Moves replied to you, and you said the best Chinese foods in New York. He said, "All I see is rat, dog, and foot."
That's so bad. Smooth a hater.
Oh shit!
Had me crying. I'm like, bro, you got to come to Georgia and try Buddhist over here in LA.
Oh shit! I'm dying, bro. That shit was funny.
Yeah, but that was that right there.
Rat fucking can.
That food right there was like some regular spot that I didn't know that's went too close to work. It looked
basic as hell. I'm like, why the hell are you even touting this shit?
It's just a regular bento box, but I knew people was gonna get upset.
Oh, the best food. I'm like, is this man for real?
Ain't put no sauce in it, nothing. It was straight.
Nothing. That shit was dry.
Right.
No dry ass damn broccoli. That shit out my damn face.
Hey, Barry, thanks for having me on your podcast. So I appreciate you.
No doubt, man. I see. I got the that bullshit ass IGN.
I disagree.
Oh God!
I think it's a snap poll on what the new features are going to be. Now the people that are putting
that bullshit.
To have 4% at none. Are you kidding me? Stop it, man.
Well, I would be in that. Well, the one that shocked me was the. Well, I know we'll get into it, but there is one feature that is. So, but that's it.
The fast slow times should definitely be the highest shit on there.
Yeah, I think.
But we knew that was coming. That was already confirmed in April and May. They confirmed that. So
I didn't see no IGN survey. When that happened?
Like it's. No, they sent it out. They if you went to the article, they had it down at the very bottom of the article. So and then they just took a snap poll on what feature that's been confirmed is are people more excited for? So that's it. It's just a snap poll.
Oh man, but it's good to be here, man. Friday night, got me some nice curry goat in me. I got me a nice little Heineken in me. Yo, we good.
Ready. Oh, that's it.
We good, man. I said, yo, I know Puerto Rico is starting at 7, but I got to get this in me real quick, man.
I gotta get the protein in and the Heineken.
I ain't eating nothing all day, man.
Oh shit.
Puerto Rico over there, damn, fucking killing himself. It's like at 1 o'clock. I mean,
I'll listen to your show on Ryan when I'm commuting home.
You be having that cheap ass Chinese food watching RGT. We appreciate you. We see you in the chat.
Yeah, thanks for coming through. Yeah, hopefully we made everybody a little bit smarter on their drive home this Friday. Everybody got a little bit smarter.
Man, it was mad traffic though. I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm thinking people traveling because it's Columbus Day and all that
and stuff, right?
Is it Columbus Day weekend?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Columbus Day weekend.
Wow.
This year
every detour I tried, bro, I was like, damn, this was a traffic. What the fuck going on here?
He got access denied. Access denied. You know what I'm saying? Like my man today, grand opening, grand closing. Yo, some crazy guy. Everybody heard from J Dub?
Well,
I haven't seen him all day.
He's a politician. So we'll start off with
Yankees.
No
Yankee slander.
Got that no Yankee slander. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Who the Yankees play next?
Houston. Wow, they play Houston Astros. Yeah.
Oh, they should be Houston. If their bats stay hot, I don't see.
They're the top.
Houston is really good, but the thing is, like their pitching is kind of wearing out because they push them to
they push 5 games,
the full game.
Yeah, so they couldn't start. Yeah, they had to use their starters to survive.
I mean, it said the Stinkies.
They had to use the Stinkies.
Shit, man, as many home runs as they're hitting. But geez.
Yankees need this all right because the Giants right now.
Oh man, we hurt. Dog, it's over. Yeah. This season's over. I'm like, oh shit.
You guys don't know how
Evan Ingram's hurt.
For me at work.
Golden Tate's getting pushed around. I'm like, man, that pass interference.
Porter Rock.
I'm like,
they
man.
let this man. Brady running for 2 touchdowns, bro. 2 touchdowns, bro.
I can't.
He won't even do that.
I was getting roasted at work. I was like, listen, leave me alone. I closed the office door. I was like, leave me alone.
He got more running touchdowns than we do. I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh my god.
He got more running touchdowns than our own running backs. I was like, oh shit.
So, bro, that man was like, listen, this defense is terrible.
Yo, for real, man. We need a new defensive coordinator. I don't know who they got, but yo, it's crazy, bro. This shit is wild. This season's a wrap.
Man, I tapped out last
that's
night.
Crazy. It's funny y'all said this season's a wrap. It's like this generation is a damn wrap. It's like
wrap,
everything's
bro.
done.
For real, bro. And then I don't even talk about the Knicks. I gave up on that dream a long time ago.
Yeah, I saw what Stephen A. Smith said that he gonna sue. He said he's gonna sue his employers for abuse if he's gonna talk about the Knicks.
I don't even. Oh man, all I got is my Yankees right now. That's it.
Yo, Knicks is a wrap. They get.
That's it.
They get fragrant two technicals in preseason. It's a wrap for that team.
Oh man, yeah, for real. The first game, this dude got ejected. I'm like, oh my god, how you get ejected on a preseason game? I'm like, yo,
my man thought he was in the playoffs.
Yo, this dude's like, fuck it. If we can't win, we're gonna fight.
My man hit him with a basketball, bro. I thought, yo, come on. Bro.
Yeah, that dude just slammed him with the ball. I'm like, yo, I never seen no shit like that. Yo. He was like, he had the ball, he was doing lab, and he just said, "Bah!" And then he tried to pass it like nothing happened. Like,
and then he acting confused, like, what happened?
Like, what happened? And everybody's like, we all saw that.
I mean, kicked out. What I do?
Even the ref is like, bro, are you serious?
It's preseason, brother. Like, relax.
Bro, that right there sold NBA pass tickets because they'd be like, damn, if preseason like this, oh shit. Oh, that shit's cool.
Man.
All right, so let's start with some fucker. Let's talk about this poll real quick that I got up here. So
shit.
yeah, so I don't know. IGN released a poll that apparently only PlayStation fans were allowed to take, the way everybody keeps talking about it. So apparently this is a PlayStation gamers exclusive poll.
Bullshit.
Because apparently we're the only ones that took this, right? But it says, what PS5 feature are IGN readers most excited for? And 42% voted for backwards compatibility. 23% voted for faster load times. 12% none. So they don't like none of that shit. 11% built-in ray tracing. 6% 4K Blu-ray. And 6% adaptive triggers. All right. So, pretty straightforward, right? But of course, we got, the nation coming out replying, but I thought, they saying with replies of that they thought PlayStation gamers don't care for backwards compatibility. So when I saw that, I'm thinking, just as usual, they're mixing two different topics, you know what I'm saying? So that way they could feel like they were right all along, right? So let me start off my bit. So to me, maybe I was looking at the situation different. When this whole backwards compatibility issue began, it wasn't really the issue of BC itself. What we were conveying is that you don't buy a console that gets no new AAAs, that really only has multiplats, but then you try to convince the world, but it has BC as a selling point. And we're like, that's not a selling point. Like, buying a new console to play a previous generation's consoles games is not really a big selling point when you lack
that's a cherry on the top.
Yeah, when you lack new content, there's no replacing that. That's like trying to sell a car with the best audio system, but the engine sucks. I don't care how great the audio system is. The engine sucks. And that's the whole point of the car. You understand what I'm saying? That was the conversation I remember we were having like last year, 2 years ago. It was a console with no BC, but it's providing you the big new games versus a console with BC, but it sucks ass and it's not giving you no new shit. Like, there's no big games. Everything's coming out as trash. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys do? Somebody hit me up. Somebody take it over. What do y'all think?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, a lot of people, you always got to paint the picture for these guys out here, man, because something, right? They see your opinions on backwards compatibility, and it don't matter what you said to how clear you are with your point. They're just gonna run with what they believe. Like, oh, PlayStation fans hated backwards compatibility. But all the points that you was making there, I'm pretty sure everybody in this panel was probably making it clear. Like, yo, we're not bashing backwards compatibility itself. It's a great feature, but it shouldn't be like the only selling point. That's what Xbox was doing it back then. They was pushing backwards compatibility and what else? Controllers. But and meanwhile, people was buying Xbox One Elites, Xbox One S's, and we're like, yo, you're not getting no new games, bro.
I remember they announced backwards compatibility games like in game shows. Like, what the fuck? This is now like a show topic?
They were hyping it. They were hyping it. They were hyping
the reaction when he announced backwards compatible games at E3, everybody jumped out like he fucking announced some big ass AAA banger. Like, what the fuck? What was that shit about? Like, come on, man. And I remember when they was at XO 18, where they had the crowd paid in, like that paid crowd, motherfuckers in there jumping up for Sea of Thieves.
Really?
Yeah. That's what I'm feeling there.
The paid audience was like, yeah, they Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. Oh my god!
Yo, shout out to
they tried everything.
He said, "Thank you for the super chat." He says, "Hi, bro. I'm very much excited for PlayStation 5." Oh, we're gonna talk about that because Keemstar also did his own poll, and we'll talk about that in a few. About a
credible poll.
120,000 participants. Yo, he had 120K people participate. And yeah,
crazy though.
And I'll pull up those numbers soon. But
yeah, the whole backwards compatibility thing. Nobody in here is bashing it. Like, even with this poll right here, I'm not even comfortable looking at this poll because it's a cool feature, but this is not a selling point like that.
Among those choices, I could see why backwards compatibility is the one picked on. Now,
they put games in there.
Yeah,
they put like feature games.
Like, I understand if it was strictly features, I could see why backwards compatibility is the most sought after feature. Because if you bought a PlayStation 4 this gen, you probably invested a lot of money in digital content. You want that shit to come with you. So among these choices, I can see why that's the biggest. But these dudes try to spin this article, and that's why I made a tweet Well, there's no choice for game. Like if you're trying to say, oh, but I thought people don't buy PlayStations for old games. Well, if you put new games on that choice, I guarantee majority of the people would pick new games. They would pick PS5 games. They wouldn't be picking backwards compatible game if that's the message you're trying to say. If you're trying to say, oh, I thought PlayStation gamers don't buy consoles for old games, well, put the choice of new games and let's see what they pick now. I guarantee majority will say, well, obviously, yeah, PS5 games. This is just limited.
But and they look at the choices too.
Like 4K Blu-ray. Like I don't give a fuck about 4K Blu-ray.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I do. Look at these choices.
But you can get that shit for $80 now. Like no.
Well, I understand it. That's why it shocked me why they even did that. And Sony has the #1 4K player rated. Rated at all services, consumer services on the planet. They got the top selling one, so why do that? But if you're going to have games that are going to be 100 whatever, you might as well just do a 4K Blu, because it's pretty much the same, around the same math. So, but that did surprise me. But everything else, yeah, I mean, the ray tracing, which I know hurt a lot of feelings, a lot of cheeks got busted over that, So I'm excited about that.
Well, no matter now, because apparently Xbox now got Arcturus, so it's over.
Yeah, and they got a Threadripper.
These guys are
Threadripper.
I'm telling you with these dudes, man, like. Yo, I don't know what they do. They sit in these party chests and they create these like rumors, and they just go with it, bro.
I can't deal with these dudes, They got a one up, bro. Yo, like
this morning, I was like, yo, oh my god, bro, come on, man, come on.
This shit got man. That shit won't even come out even after the console launch. Like, yo.
Well, I tell you what made it funny. As soon as the whole thing about the ray tracing got shot, they took that horse out to the barn and they shot it. So within 24 hours, they were already talking about PS5 is going to be. It's not going to be as powerful. Yeah, it ain't going to be the PS5 will be as powerful. It can't. It's just kind of like, man, y'all are beat. Just shut up. I mean, if you're gonna lie, say it's gonna have Arcturus and a Threadripper in there. Just lie your ass off.
You know what's funny though? We should all expect this though, because they was doing this with the Xbox One. The secret sauce, the double stack GPU. They was doing the same shit.
Oh my
they was doing the same.
Someone said the secret sauce. That shit.
Yo, Xbox One, they was always trying to one up the PS4. Even when the facts was in front of them, you had dudes coming on podcasts and just lying to them in their face, and they was just believing it. Like, yeah, man, yo, it's gonna do this, it's gonna do that. Xbox is capable. Shit crazy, man.
Like Microsoft won because we got fucking true backers and bad. Like, come on, man, y'all motherfuckers, stop.
Yeah. Oh, here's my favorite one. They won because they invested in studios. Therefore, they invested in me as the gamer. Well, these people saying that, I'm like, you know what? Y'all are chill. You are children. It's like y'all need to go to the little table at Thanksgiving where you don't sit over here and you folks go sit over there at that kiddie table and eat popcorn and Cheerios. I mean, this needs to shut up. Like I said, I'm just going to put out there now. The new Xbox will have Arcturus and a Threadripper. You might as well, like I said, that's it. I mean, what else can it have?
Somebody mentioned it's gonna have 10 cores. I'm like, where are they?
I seen the chart that they had comparing it already. I'm like, yo,
like 10 cores now? Like
10 cores of what?
All right, number one. Microsoft don't sell that many consoles, so they're not gonna go all out on something they know they don't sell that much anyway. Let's be honest. They're not gonna go all in on a product that hard. They're not gonna go that hard on a product that doesn't sell like that. I mean, recently, what we just found out once again, a news article. Xbox sold 47 million. And now that's being spun as a success. I'm like, oh shit!
I seen somebody.
Considering everything, that's pretty good. I'm like, oh my god! No,
I seen somebody was like, yeah, both consoles saw non-success or failures. I'm looking at it like, what?
Yo, one of the dudes I was talking to on Twitter, my man, like, well, why we got to compare it to last year? It should be compared to the best all time, and PlayStation 4 failed to sell 150 million. I'm like, bro.
You say, yo, you skipped the whole PS3. Yeah,
I'm like, one, you skip a whole PS3, and then number two, it took 10 years for the PlayStation 2 to sell 150. PlayStation 4 hits 6 years this November. So you telling me PlayStation 4 failed for not selling 150 in 6 years? I'm like, yo, these dudes are, oh my God.
But what does this all add up to? What word describes what you're saying? It's one word that describes it. Yeah. It's relevancy. They're not relevant. They're trying to find some way.
That's what the word is.
It is lunacy, but it's because. But it's not relevant. The Xbox is not relevant, so they're trying to come up with, well, Sony's going to do it too. That's the newest one. Sony's going to do it too.
This is why I want to talk to you guys.
Even if you took his logic, it still doesn't match up, because if you're comparing the best, it's still kind of failure, because you're not doing better than your prior consoles that did the best.
That's the point we were talking about. Like, we're comparing it to the previous gen. Like with 360, right? It built up a huge market share, right? For its brand, 80 plus million consoles, so right? It was selling, a lot of the multi-pass was selling better on 360, right?
A lot of deals.
It had a lot more deals.
My share was out the roof.
It had a lot more
in the US.
It had some of the biggest multiplayer games that were exclusive. Halo 3 was huge, right? Gears at the time was huge, right? Yeah, the subscription service Gold, more people were signed up to that, right? Xbox One lost all of that shit. It lost everything. Mm-hmm. It lost everything. Everything.
That COD deal was huge from.
That was the most shocking one. We all thought that COD deal. We didn't think that COD deal was going anywhere. And they motherfuckers announced, by the way, it's going to be on PlayStation.
I saw that shit like, these. And you know what's funny? Because Activision was at their at the Xbox reveal.
Yeah. And they announced it at the reveal. Yeah. Like, this is where your content's going to be exclusive. That's what Don was happy as fucking
said, fuck that.
They said, get Jack on the phone. We got to make a deal. We got
to once they saw that the game was running on 720p, they're like, this shit's a wrap.
No, it wasn't even. We got 720p though. You remember the fake ass resolution they kept making up, like 860p and shit? Like, oh my God.
We gotta go. Like,
They were mad at that shit. They came up with some type of hashtag called Xbox or we riot. I mean, that was when they lost the Call of Duty deal.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. They was doing that in Zaire group. I remember that.
Xbox. Hashtag Xbox or we riot.
This gen broke his heart. I'm gonna tell you.
That Kraken is, I think, broke him. Is what that.
A lot of people broke. You got motherfuckers on Team Blue, and I never thought I would see them ever represent Team Blue, which is PlayStation.
You know what's funny? There's dudes. There's dudes I knew because it's good. It's entertainment, right? But there's dudes that I seriously did not think would cut over. But they cut over, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? And because they, after a while, you just have to be like, man, what the fuck? Like,
you're too grown. You're too grown to be like, be that fanboy like that. It's just like, yo, bro.
Like, after a while, you have to be like, man, Santa Claus ain't real. Like, he ain't coming down no chimney. It was my little baby brother eating all the cookies. No, this shit ain't real.
It's like having a job, right? You're not happy with the job that you're working at, but you got to offer at a better job, better benefits, and you be like, nah, my friends are still over here at this job.
I believe this job can get better. We got new divisions in the company. That shit. Nah, it's time to go.
But I leave that shit, get better opportunities.
Now here's my thing. The main reason I wanted to talk to you guys, specifically this week, is somebody help me out. Where did this bullshit begin of where Sony started crossplay, is now allowing crossplay because of Sean Layden leaving? Like, what? All these things. Where did this narrative begin? Because I'm bugging out. Because I could have sworn last year in September, Sony announced that they gave in. They're like, we're going to do crossplay. We're
in beta.
Yeah, we're going to do a beta. The first game is Fortnite, and there's going to be more content coming along. We'll keep y'all posted.
And then these motherfuckers don't read. They tell you in the fine fucking print why the motherfuckers are not leaving, but the fucking new shit that's been happening is basically about the PR department. That's all it is. Yeah. They're changing their PR department and they're going in a different route in terms of getting information. You guys remember they said this live when Sean Lane was there, when he said, we're looking for new ways to get information to you. So they're going to be upgrading their PR and going about it different. New slogan, obviously, greatness awaits can't be used again.
Yeah, no. Like, greatness is here, motherfuckers.
There you go. Like,
yo, you gotta realize as well, we're going to get back to the crossplay thing, but you got to realize as well, when a new generation comes, there's going to be a lot of turnovers that's going around, because that's a lot of money that they're shelling out to manufacture all that consoles and all that stuff. There's going to be a lot of turnovers there, man. But to talk about the crossplay joint, I don't even understand how PlayStation and crossplay is like a new thing for people in this community. Like, PlayStation is pretty solidified when it comes to crossplay.
I mean, Craig says it all the time,
since the PS3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they always crossplay within their ecosystem with Vitas and PS3s, with PS4s. They crossplay with PC since day one.
Right.
When you bring in their competitors now, it's going to be hesitant with that. Like, yo, this is my leading competitor right here. I'm actually helping this person out, where there's more gamers playing on my network here, and I'm helping you out by, you know what I mean, cross play over there with all our gamers over your services. And the other thing that PlayStation was hesitant with, a lot of people keep forgetting that Minecraft was the turning point, right? Yeah. Minecraft, Xbox, they wanted PlayStation to use Xbox Live. They had to log into Xbox Live to crossplay with Minecraft, and PlayStation wasn't having. That was the big point right there. Yeah, people forget that. That's why they were so hesitant. Like, get the hell out of here. We ain't you're gonna have your service on our network as well. That's where the whole service came in. Like, we want to protect our
kids that get the kids and shit like that. Yeah.
That's where that statement came from. But then the whole Fortnite and the Rocket League came in, where, you know, they was like, yeah, we'll do crossplay. Minecraft was the starter. Hey, PlayStation been doing crossplay all along. Like Porter Rock been saying, this thing has been in beta for a year. You know what I mean? Like, this was going to get released regardless.
Yeah,
it was coming out.
Maybe because since it came out in September last year, more people were concerned about puddles, ambient occlusion, you know, because that's when Spider-Man came out in September. So maybe it was that. People were too focused on puddles.
Puddlegate. They didn't see every fucking PlayStation exclusive that's come out has been plagued by some dumbass. Oh, this has been downgraded by this tiny little fucking thing. Motherfuckers tell us, oh, look at the towel on fucking Supermassive's.
Done. Yeah,
they ain't learned yet, man.
It's relevancy.
Hey, shout out to
we
Safe.
talk about fucking puddles in a fucking superhero game. Come on, bro.
Yo, shout out to Safe again. Thank you for the super chat. He says 6 games for my new PlayStation 5 are ready for it. Man, everybody's excited about that stuff. But it's crazy. Here's the thing. What's crazy is, as the phrase goes, you know what I'm saying? You turning off somebody else's candle doesn't make yours shine brighter. You know what I'm saying? That's not it's not gonna work. They've been doing this tactic for years. Like, Jerry Barry probably been through the bullshit longer than I have on Twitter and on YouTube, and he's been doing that bang bang shit from the beginning. These dudes do the same tactics for the last 6 years, and they don't realize, bruh, it doesn't work. Like,
the whole thing with crossplay, you got to understand, Microsoft actually got data in that was saying that people were turning in their Xboxes and or not buying them because the most popular game, like you all mentioned, was Fortnite. And the kids were like, well, Jimmy has an Xbox, but his 3 friends play on PlayStation. So Jimmy was left out. Jimmy was crying. So the mom was taking their Xbox in and getting a PlayStation. Well, when Microsoft got that, Microsoft was like, no, we got to. And they attacked Sony at an executive level online. I've never seen anything like that before. That would be like Warner Brothers attacking the MCU because the DCEU sucked. It sucked. And they were like, well, y'all need to let us use your characters to help us, you know. And I've never seen, and see how they're saying that Sony's being anti-consumer, even though you can physically walk into the store and buy their product. So there is no anti-consumer. You got another bill to play.
Yeah, Raven Flow. Hey, thanks for the super chat, Raven. Raven said, it's not safe in these streets for the last year. These Xbots are out here trying to get a cheap 2-piece with a biscuit on PlayStation.
Yeah, butter biscuits.
They're looking for that Popeye's chicken. We ran out. Ain't no more. We all out.
Out here, like, yo, man, can I get $2? I can get a biscuit.
And they're coming in like Chris Rock, shit. Can slap in my hands for a dime and shit like that.
How much for a fit?
It's really crazy, but it's about relevancy. That's why you know who put this thing up on Twitter today. Oh, well, look, I didn't think backwards compatibility was that deal. Microsoft was doing that already. Therefore, we're relevant. You know what's funny, Craig? Been doing. I'm not even gonna count PS3. Yeah. What they've been doing with since PS4, the beginning of PS1, crossplay with PC. Xbox dudes don't even like that.
No,
you know what I mean. But yet they're the main ones complaining about PlayStation not doing crossplay. You don't even like doing crossplay with what Microsoft is already tied up with. The PC branch of things. Yeah. You know what I mean? They bash PC dudes. We don't want a game with the PC dudes. So you don't even like the crossplay feature in itself. So, you know what I mean? I don't get this whole crossplay shit, man. It's cool, but at the end of the day, it's nothing new. It is nothing new, guys.
Yeah, but understand the reason why
we did it with Final Fantasy, DC Universe Online is like, it's not a new concept.
Yeah. But again, what's new is that they are actually can trace that they're losing console sales because other people are playing the most popular games together versus and nobody is. I can play Fortnite with 3 of my friends and somebody's left out. That kid was being mocked. Being made fun. You got to play on the Xbox, nanny boo boo, and so he was upset. They actually have data that tells them this, so they attack. This is why it came not from the fans. It actually came from an executive level. I mean, this was coming from Greenberg, who's an executive. This was coming from Ybarra, who used to be an executive. This was coming from Major Nelson. This was all coming from them because it's like, look, if we can't get them to do crossplay, people are just not going to buy this console because nobody's buying this console. And they've been outsold almost, 2 to 2 to 1, a little more than that. So, and when they got that data, they panicked. They're like, they got to start doing crossplay. So here comes the outrage culture. Then you add to the fact you have a whole generation of kids who don't know how to lose. They got trophies for showing up to practice and tying their shoes correctly. Oh, here's a trophy so you don't feel bad. That's what you're seeing. You're just seeing an overplay of that. You talked about was in Bang Bang and stuff like that. That's all it is. They're not relevant anymore. That's why these mofos are constantly saying Xbox, Sony's going to put games day and date because when those games went day and date, like,
we're happy with that.
Yeah. What happened was simple. What happened was they became irrelevant. It was instant. There was no reason to have your console because I can go to PC and get it day and date. That was it. It was over. So and now
the things that these guys don't like Xbox is doing, they want PlayStation to do it. So they don't like the day and date stuff. They want PlayStation to do it.
They don't really like that. They know they don't like that shit. They're pretending
like it.
Do. They hate the shit. Right? Yeah. Coopman 30. Thank you for the super chat. He says, "What up, P Rock? What's good with you, brother?" I see you rocking that Link avatar. Can't hate on that because my Knicks suck, so I can't talk shit. You know what I'm saying? So
I can't believe you just admitted that.
Man, come on, there's nothing to admit. That's just reality, bro. that's just nature of the beast, bro. But anyway, here's the thing, right? It's clear that the true console gamers don't like the decision Microsoft did, but there's nothing they can do about it. It is what it is. They're still gonna play the games. They're still gonna invest in the ecosystem, but they cannot lie to themselves and not see that there's certain things that's a little bit bullshit. Like, number one, PC gamers don't have to pay for Xbox Live, but yet they get everything. They get everything. Online gaming is absolutely free, yet they get access to all the games they want. They even now get access to Game Pass with no investment into Xbox Live Gold. That's a little bullshit.
The whole Xbox app just looks like the Xbox One on the PC. Yeah. Like, there's nothing really different.
Exactly. Like, that's a little bullshit. Like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why do console gamers have to invest more for the same exact fucking content and stuff like that, for the same exact service? That's a little bullshit, right? Number 2, right? PC, so far, a few games are coming to PC first. You know, like Gears of War Tactics, that flight simulator, potentially could go on Xbox console. Why is it not the opposite? At the very least, if you're buying a dedicated device from Microsoft and you're paying for gold, then you should get day one games first and then let it go to PC later on. You see what I'm saying? It should be the opposite. The game should come to the console first. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's only one platform that Coney, for whatever reason, maybe the developers can't do it, but which is weird because supposedly with UWP, whatever, right? But let's say if
UWP,
I don't know, bro. But let's say if one game was gonna be either PC or console first, then the automatic choice for a Microsoft game should be the console first. Be like, hey, that's our audience. They're the ones paying the money for a dedicated device. They're the ones who are our Xbox Live Gold subscriber. The game goes there first. Absolutely. And then 6 months later, we'll put it on PC. It should be at a minimum that relationship. But not even that. Like they get nothing out of this deal with PC. When you look at it, they get nothing. Like PC got everything. Console got nothing. You know, the console side got nothing in return. Like nothing. Like everybody's getting everything from Xbox, but Xbox not getting anything back. I mean, fuck, even Cuphead and this other game went to Switch. And you know what's the sad part about it? It's not like the Windows Store is really thing like that. The Windows Store, Xbox Store generates more money than a Windows Store. People don't buy from the Windows Store, but Microsoft even took it a step further and they put them shits on Steam. I'm just like, bruh. Saying like.
Chat, bro, is a feature that you gotta pay for using Xbox Live. I mean, Gold, right? See, and I'm mobile.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Xbox still gets the money. That's what they be like, right?
That's all that matters, right? But you get no games.
Is that really Xbox One 4K in the chat? He's saying this Sea of Thieves is fire.
You got another
you need to stop, Juan. You need to stop. My man, shout out to Juan. My man said Sea of Thieves is fire.
Oh, well, hey, look. If you like it, I love it. I saw Zaire tear that game apart when he said that noodle was terrorizing the 7 Seas. So yeah, and it was so good they removed it. They put an ugly ass fake shark in.
Shout out to my man. Shout out to my ex-bot who told Zaire what business does he have swimming in the ocean looking for a cracking body. Yo, I died when he said that shit.
Oh yeah, that was no
business.
What you down there for?
No, what you down there for? What business you have swimming? I'm like, yo, I was dead. Shout out.
The funny part is them saying they gonna patch it in.
How you patching a body, bro? Like, yo, that shit.
Yo. Say you gotta wait for the update, my dude.
And they still doing it. I don't think they haven't done it. It's just a fucking.
They took it out. Phil Smith
and it's still not there.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they got a shot now.
Yeah.
Oh
shit, my man.
Oh, they use the leftover assets from the fucking octopus.
Oh shit!
Use it for the shark.
All
That shit
day
crazy.
digital,
Man.
yo, bro.
All day, what's up?
Yo, it's a reunion, boy.
What's up?
My man, he's in college. He's getting some education.
Oh man, you know I'm out here doing it, man.
I know, man.
You know the problem all day. He on that vegan diet, so you know he can't talk to people regularly. That's what happens when you're on that vegan diet. You gotta cut your ties.
Vegan diet. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta cut your ties when you're on that.
Herbal essence, bro. You know what I mean?
My man having that breakfast tea and shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Oh my god.
So you don't even drink milk and shit? Oh man.
Nah, man. Come on, black folks can't.
Yo, milk is actually healthy for you though. Like you're not supposed to drink it like excessively, but like a glass a day is actually healthy.
Wow.
Yeah. White folks be taking bites out of full blocks of cheese, bro. You know, once a year, fucking Count Chocula comes out for Halloween. I be buying me like 10 boxes. They got all the cereals right now at Walmart.
General Mills, General Mills stock goes up every October.
Right.
That's a fact.
All them dyed colored normal cereal. Oh my god, Frosted Flakes be bat flakes and shit.
Yo, I be buying the giant size Frosted Flakes. Fuck that. Yo, shout out.
You got a super chat
that's
from.
what I'm doing. Shout out to Coop Man. What's up? He says if Sony goes day and date with PS Now, it's over for Game Pass. Sony lineup too strong, and they will get beat in streaming and console gaming. They cannot compete with Sony. And I will say I will agree with that statement if they did do that. Because the IPs are just too big, man. Like, here's the thing, and this is one thing that's weird about this generation. And maybe you guys could disagree or agree, but see if you notice this, right? Mm-hmm. This is the first generation where gamers are no longer tying the games themselves to the value of the system or to the platform. It's as if the games are irrelevant. It's not, if you're going to choose a console, you don't talk games. You talk about features and power. And I'm like,
usually games
on one side
break the system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's one side though, because Nintendo.
Because Nintendo and PlayStation, you don't really hear that from the guys like that.
What? I'm like, here's my thing.
Well, they got leverage services, bro. They ain't got the game.
I don't care. Like, listen, I understand power, whatever, but none of that matters if you ain't got the games. Because what's the power for? Like when people be like, oh, the games don't matter. We could talk about most powerful. And I'll be like,
can you imagine saying the powers for CFDs?
Like,
come on.
Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? like what do you do with that power though? Like it's the games. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's why I can't rock with just the thought of, I play on consoles for the best version of multiplats. I'm like, no, that makes no sense. If you really want the best version of multiplats, then go for the best version. Just get a PC. And then you'll never, ever have to worry about an inferior version of multiplats at any generation. You know what I'm saying?
Even that statement is BS because the beginning of the generation, they wasn't doing that. They was getting the Xboxes. You know what I mean? If they was believing in that, they would have got a PS4.
J Barry, we both know that they were throwing exclusives like a motherfucker the beginning of the gen. And as you can see,
they always go hard at the start.
And they try to use shit like Rise. And I be looking at Zaire like, really, bro? Like, really?
I remember P-Rod did a stream one time, and I was in his stream, and he's like, I'm about to get this Xbox. I want to play Sunset Overdrive. I hate this man up. I said, P-Rod, don't do it.
He warned me, man.
This man did it.
And I did it. And I regret it. I'm like, this console sucks, man. This is one of the worst consoles I've ever owned.
They was in the chat was like, don't listen to J Bar, he a fanboy.
J Bar was right, bro. Listen, I have, I got the $2, deal 2-month fucking Game Pass, right? I did it for Gears of War and Blair Witch, right? It ends October 25th. I have not touched that since September, bro. Like after I beat Gears,
I still gotta play Gears.
After I beat, it's still active. Like, I look at that list, there is, the games that are, whatever, I already played. Like, Devil May Cry, I ain't waiting 4 or 5 months to play Devil May Cry 5. I bought that shit day one. You understand what I'm saying? So,
it was not like it was a long game anyway. It was a short
I'm like, right now, I got, 2 weeks left. I have no interest booting up my Xbox. With me having access, because the library sucks. I look at the Game Pass library, I'm like, this is full of bullshit. Like, this is some, what the
I ain't gonna lie, they did get some heat in there recently, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
But why heat, though, recently? Like, shit that
they got the Bloodstain. The Bloodstain. They got,
I got already.
PS4.
I know, but I'm saying, for motherfuckers who don't support it, they can support it now.
That's the key, bro. Like, for me to make Game Pass work, I have to stop buying games.
Yeah.
That's the only way it'll work for me. Like I buy
all day, bro. Even that statement all day is kind of wrong because you're saying for the people that don't support it, they can support it now through Game Pass. These people are getting this shit for $1. You're not supporting that.
Every dollar counts, boy. Every dollar counts.
In order for this, in order for the Game Pass to work for me, I have to change what I normally do and stop buying games. Like, don't buy games. And just wait till what Game Pass pushes out.
That's what they want, though. That's Xbox's model. But that's their model. So it's not about the sales; it's about the engagements, which of course they don't even do that anymore because they're embarrassed about that number. So it's they got a bunch of moist ass simps online, company line. I mean, they get money off of it. You got a business model on being moist. So congratulations.
Yo, Craig used the trigger words. Yo, where I'm from, the word like moist, that would trigger somebody.
Well, fine. If they prove they're not moist, tell them to stop lying. That's
the trigger words, bro.
Yeah, this is the worst community ever. Lie.
You think I'm gonna wait for a couple of months to see if Final Fantasy VII remake goes on PS Now? Bro. No. That shit, Death Stranding, that shit's pre-ordered. I ain't
buying that day one.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine waiting though, bro.
Did the stream go offline?
What happened? No, it shouldn't.
Is your stream offline?
Is it offline? Why? Why do you say that?
It's up. My bad. Yeah. It looked like it went offline for me, but it's still up.
Oh shit. Well, I know it ain't Marky Bauer because
they was some moist dudes, man, making up shit. Sony's gonna do it too. They sound like
Craig, you know you're ready for that flight simulator, bro. You know you're waiting for that.
I was playing that today. I was streaming that today. Did you see it?
How you liking that?
Oh, it's okay.
What game we playing?
It's out for
flight
me.
Simulator.
Yeah, it's out for me. Yeah, I started. Yeah, you got to start the plane up and everything. You just can't hit one button. You have to physically know the sequence on starting your planes up and everything, or else you'll get a burnout. You got to ask for taxi clearance. You have to ask for takeoff clearance. You have to take off information.
Don't that shit feel like work?
That shit sound like a job.
It's a simulator.
There's a game called Job Simulator. I'm like, right? I'm like.
Got a PC build simulator too, but no, it's a simulator. So what you get is the actual simulation. You're wanting that. You want the real.
When I was a kid, I was into that stuff, man. But now I'm like, yo, bro, I can't.
That's just like real life work. Like I ain't doing this shit. I ain't getting paid. I need to get paid.
I was landing one time, and my plane it burnt out. Had an avionics failure, so I had to work. I had to declare an emergency. They had to clear the runway. You saw them clear the runway, and I had to glide my plane in. And I still landed because I'm the man. But it's the simulator that it's not going to be perfect. The plane can be hit by a bird. The plane can, it's a combat simulator. So, I went to go shoot something, a boat. And I got shot down. But it was my fault because I didn't see the SA-2. So that was my fault because I did not see it. So
don't put that.
And then I went.
Don't put that game on Xbox. You're gonna have motherfuckers try to run into buildings. Fucking disrespectful bastards. Don't put that shit.
The thing is, like, I don't understand Xbox. Like, I understand they're trying to have a variety of stuff, but you also got to look at your fan base. Hey, like, I understand, like, okay, you have the Gears of War and all that stuff, Halo, but you also got to still look at your family. Like, what do they like? They like a shooter, so maybe you want to create like a new IP that's a shooter, something like that. But these dudes talking about we're bringing a flight simulator. I'm like, what?
But that's what Jay, they just had Gears come out, and a week and a half after Gears came out, they stopped talking. So, and Gears is their benchmark game. They're built on a wishbone, right? Halo, Gears 4. So Gears comes out, second Gears is generation. They got White Zaddy talking about it's the same level of Naughty Dog. They're talking more about that than they are about the actual physical game.
Gears is a good game though. I'm liking this new Gears, but the issues that I'm seeing, I didn't come across none of it.
I did. A lot of PC that stopped.
Days Gone came out, I had people that I didn't even know had a PlayStation. They was uploading clips like, look at this glitch that I found here. But with Gears, dudes is silent.
Gears reminded me of if it had a Gears of War show on the CW. Like a really good episode of something on the CW. It was good.
They're dumb. I mean, I've never seen such stupidity. We got
Dawson's Creek with guns, bro.
So all right, so
it wasn't that good.
So I haven't talked to you guys. So with the news that we got this week, we'll go down the line. What did you like so far with the little tidbits that Sony released?
4K Blu-ray and the other way they pulled those guys' pants down and they busted their cheeks about software ray tracing. And it was Mark Cerny that did it. And so, that dude came out there and said, "Oh, we're going to have the ray tracing, the hardware. I thought I made that clear. But it was a little ambiguous.
You know what's funny though? The way he said it, because he's like, when he said it, he didn't realize it was going to cause a commotion, because he thought, in his mind, Mark Cerny thought that the answer was obvious. He did not think people were going to actually think the PlayStation 5 was going to do software ray tracing. Like, he didn't realize that was a thing. So in his mind, because remember, he's an architect engineer. Probably all these engineers are thinking, why would anyone ever think these consoles will do software ray tracing? Because from my impression of the way he said it, he didn't realize like somebody will have an issue. Like, it would be ambiguous. Like, does it really need to be said? Like, so he officially said it. It's going to be hardware ray tracing. You know what I'm saying? But don't you find that weird that Mark Cerny found that confusing? Which only tells me all these people talking about software and hardware ray tracing, do they really know what the fuck they're talking about?
No, they don't. Because Lisa Su with AMD at CES. Yeah, well, it was at CES. She came out and said, yeah, the RDNA architecture will have hardware-based ray tracing on. She said it. Okay, and then she announced PlayStation was going to be using it. She announced that the Xbox was going to be using it. So, and then Sony came out about 4 weeks ago and said, "Oh, hey, they've got the motion picture ray tracing, the Hollywood effects ray tracer that's used in Avenger is going to be available software, on in their console." That was the end to me, but they kept going with it because if it's software-based, Barack, and not hardware-based, it makes the new Xbox relevant. The Xbox is not relevant. The fan base is not relevant. Therefore, they have to find something that makes them relevant. And this was it. Then Mark Cerny came out there and busted their cheeks in front of everybody. And so then they went right back to, oh, well, it's going to have Arcturus, and it's going to have a Threadripper, and it's going to have all this stuff in it. Just, just lie their asses off. And they make money doing it. I just say, they just lie. I mean, just they wake up in the morning, the lie comes out of their ears.
This is another thing, though, Craig. Like I said yesterday on the show that I was doing, was it yesterday or Wednesday? My bad. Ray tracing is nothing new with PlayStation game. Killzone Shadowfall, a launch title, was implementing ray tracing. And then all that stuff, you know what I mean? But everybody was so quiet about that. But now all of a sudden it's like PlayStation can't do ray. Before the whole Mark Cerny, a lot of these dudes that's backtracking now, they was like, PlayStation can't do no hardware accelerated ray tracing. Oh, they don't have the technology to do that. PlayStation might do the cheap way and all that crap. So I'm seeing this in PlayStation 4 games. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. We got to knock this shit off.
Well, they're moist.
Like, so here's the thing. So why I understand. All right. So I understand, everybody's rocking for their brand, right? But why do people set themselves up for something they have no confirmed information that's going to happen? Like, for example, if you create this scenario, right? Like, let's say that what happens if Xbox Scarlet is not the most powerful console? Well, what happens to their view of Xbox then? Like, me, I already know the answer. They're just gonna come. Like, they're gonna.
You ain't see the Xbox One secret sauce, baby.
They're gonna confirm to something. They're gonna conform to something else. But why would you put yourself in a box to where, oh, I'm getting Xbox because I gotta play the best version of the games, and then if the console comes out, it doesn't have the best version of the games. Then what do you do? What do you do? You know what I'm saying?
Gotta go features. Xbox Live.
Nigga, just go back to games. It's that simple.
That's all it is.
It's that simple.
That's it. You could just simply say, I prefer Microsoft games over Sony games. Granted,
right.
We'll all
but
look
you
at you
don't have
like,
the power to do that.
We'll all look at you like, okay, if you say so. But at least it's a more honest answer.
Yeah.
Than simply, I play the best version of games. Like, come on, dog. No, you don't. Because what did you do the first 4 years? Like, we're talking 4 years. It's not like the One X came out 2 years after launch. Y'all was stuck with that console for 4 years.
Not even playing the best version of their own exclusives. You know what I mean?
For real.
So,
you know what I'm saying? Y'all been stuck with that box that the Switch came out. And
Microsoft is that weird middle child, bro.
Shit. The Switch, Nintendo released the Switch, and y'all
everybody give him the hand of the bread.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, it's
I like it, man.
It's crazy. So let me ask you something.
Is Microsoft the hand of the bread?
The what?
Is Microsoft the hand of the bread, of the loaf of bread?
The hand?
The hand piece that nobody wants?
Oh,
You know what
the
I'm
hand? Or the back piece? That you just kiss it and throw it in the trash? Oh, shit. This dude.
Hey, I literally saw my son throw away that piece. Like, I'm like, you don't take that shit out the
You better
trash.
take that shit. That shit's still bread.
Yeah, man. Put some peanut butter on that.
Take that Xbox loaf out of here.
So now let me ask you this. So going back to Sony, with the adaptive controller, with the changes of the controller, right? What do you guys think? How would you like to see, with the little bit of information that we got, how would you like to see what these does for games? Like, do you have like from what you hear, what the control can do? What do you envision in the games that you like to play that you would like to see?
I like to go for horror games for sure. Like, you know, like Resident Evil 7, when you're in that house and then you hear the creaking like on the floor and shit, you can actually feel that shit on the controller.
Yeah, that would be sick.
That would be sick, like that. Or I'm trying to think of another aside from that, like action games, like Uncharted. There was another Uncharted where you were loading the gun, you can feel, you know, taking the clip out, that type of stuff. You know, it's a lot of cool stuff they can do, and they can obviously adjust the triggers to make it more, you know, basically based on your feedback, you know, that's what it's going to be like. So, you know, like Red Dead 2 and like those floaty controls, we shouldn't run into this issue at all with these new controllers.
With the haptic feedback stuff, like, to be honest with you, I normally like turn off vibration on my controller, but you know, if it's on, you know, I'll use it with certain games. I would like to see like chest, like see that resistance of you open that, like the struggle of opening. You know, I got it for it. It's so dramatic. How you open the treasure chest, like you actually feeling that now. That would be kind of sick.
Now let me throw something out with that resistance trigger. Tell me, and I think you might like this, J-Bar. Maybe not. But imagine playing COD, right? And each gun, the actual pressure is different. Like some guns, the trigger
for each trigger, faster. Right?
Other that'll be. Let's say like the sniper rifles, the trigger's like actually harder, so that way y'all motherfuckers can't be quick scoping everybody.
But that's never the thing. Like
I never seen sniper rifles shoot that fast, right? Y'all
that's the thing, though, bro.
Man, they gotta cut that shit out.
When I play COD, I turn off vibrations. That shit messes me up.
It stays off.
You know what I'm saying? But imagine
Handheld 3, bro, that shit
each
stayed
gun
off.
has a certain degree of intensity.
Yeah, that'd be sick. I get you saying.
So now, like, your favorite gun is more than just, you know, the game itself. It's actually how it feels.
Daddy said that.
It actually goes with the recoil of the gun.
Yeah, they said that in the article, in that press release.
So tell me that.
Just shut the fuck up. That shit's old. That's old. Xbox One controllers are that from day.
Where did stinky motherfucker come from trying to sell his bean pie? Like, man, what's going on?
Stop that bullshit.
You know he's here.
So listen,
my man.
Sean, everybody in here had an Xbox One. We felt them impulse triggers. They hardly use them shits, and it's just a rumble in the trigger.
It's not straight any type of tension or anything.
Come on, tension to your fingers. Come on.
Sure, that's just hot garbage.
Let's be honest.
Dudes are trying to hype it up, talking about when they play Forza.
Let's be honest, that shit's old.
Hey,
You gotta turn your mic up, bro. You gotta drink some milk first before you get this podcast. I can't hear shit you're saying.
Here's the problem. You know, the controller got haptic and all this shit, but you ain't got no games to show it. So what the fuck?
We gotta have games on Forza. Come on, Peter Dog.
Hey, doesn't sound like you talking in a tunnel?
You need games, dog. You got all this shit. Microsoft got all this shit, but no games to show it. Hundreds of controllers, no games. Consoles.
At least we got controllers. Come on.
No games.
We can talk about it. We got the power. We got controllers. We got services.
You got the power.
We got rumbling triggers.
No games.
To look good in 4K. Come on, P-Rock, you should know better.
We got Cody, that's all.
Yo, Peter,
4K Cody.
That's post.
Wait, did Sean say that we believe in 4K?
We got 4K Cody.
Oh, come on.
My man.
Listen, P-Rock, my boy P-Rock, you still got the OG PlayStation. Come on,
my man Post Up got 100K gamer score on Cody. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on here?
That's Post Up, bro.
That's Post Up. I can't cut. My
man unlocked the Avengers.
I can't cut for Post Up, you know. He's some weird motherfucker.
What's going on anyway? What's going on? Unlocking Avengers on Cody. He saw the movie before it came out.
I know.
Like,
hardcore Cody player.
Like, oh shit. So let me do this. So my man Keemstar, that dude's always on some fuck shit. Dude is funny. He's a funny dude. But
right to the news.
yeah, right there. He did his own little poll. My man Keemstar right there, and he just typed pick, and he gave two choices: Xbox 2 or PlayStation 5. And over 120,000 people participated in his Twitter poll, and 64% said PS5, 36% said Xbox 2. Now this goes in confliction.
Xbox is dead.
Now this goes in confliction with Cold Seafood's poll, where 98% said Xbox and 2% said PS5.
Oh, Eastwood had a poll and 2% picked PS5.
I'm lying. It was like 80.
I was about to say, bro.
No, it was like 80-20.
Shit.
It was like 80-20. It
Oh
was like
my God, bro.
But that's expected, though. Is that expected? He blocks all the
That's
PlayStation.
expected.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's expected. Like the majority of the people that he has.
So P-Rock, who's this guy? Keem? What's on your backdrop now? Who is this guy?
He has like a million YouTubers.
A drama alert.
Yeah, he's the drama alert. He does the drama alert. He's the one that showed he was the first one to break out that chick that like fucking threw her dog off the fucking chair and spit vodka in his mouth.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck's going on
he's the
here?
drama alert. He's the one that finds all that
He
shit.
likes reporting all the fuckery.
Yeah, he finds that shit.
He be interviewing them too. Yeah, he be interviewing them.
He was the one that also broke out the Twitch girl that said the word grocery, but she didn't actually say the word grocery.
Grocery store, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
That's my wifey right there. Y'all better chill.
So,
no, she did not say grocery.
JB, you read that shit.
She did that.
I love her. I'll donate to her too. Stop playing
she
with
did not
her.
say grocery.
I bet you did.
That girl did not say
I ain't
grocery.
donate to her, but y'all do follow on Instagram.
Yo, I was
Her
dead.
Instagram. Oh my god.
That girl did not say grocery.
Talking about
Well, look, I can tell you, P Rock, I'm getting a new Xbox because it's going to have tourists and it's going to have a thread ripper.
oh shit.
You say you buying it because it has a bidet?
It's
What?
gonna have.
It's going to have that too.
Yo, Sean, man, come on, man, Arcturus. Is that what y'all doing?
Yeah.
Is that what y'all people's doing now?
No. Somebody, I think Post Up put up something today. Said they're going to have Arcturus.
Shit sound like an X-Men character.
Yo, Sean, what do you plead, Sean? What do you plead? Arcturus or no Arcturus? And before you answer, mind you, right? Everything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
Okay.
All right. So what do you plead?
The trap.
Scarlett's gonna have Arcturus or no Arcturus?
Yo, Sean retweeted that. Just letting you know.
I already tweet all the lads shit. I don't even read half the shit.
What do you think?
No, it's gonna be. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Navi based.
Good man. My man's like, nah.
I'm the new
You ain't gonna do me like
D-Batch
me.
got his leg.
So Sean's like,
Sean's
Sean's like, you ain't gonna do me
I'm
like
pretty
me.
sure, man.
He's like, you're not gonna do me like these.
Unless the console's gonna be like $600-$700,
Oh,
then it's stupid.
man.
No, well, like I said, D-Batch got sacked the other night. He got his legs broke. So I'm the new tech guy, and I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
Let's be
Oh
honest,
man, you
P-Rock,
dethroned D? Oh man.
Yeah, I took over. No, yeah, well, D, they said he was lying and was saying all kind of things. So
It was-
I
Switch still playing 4K?
Oh, what?
Oh shit.
The Switch still playing
Oh,
4K?
shit.
I mean, I have to do tech. So I need to know what people need to see me do as a tech analysis. That way I can go to the Best Buy and do a TV analysis, you know.
So if the Xbox have that, what's it called? Arcturus?
Yeah, it's gonna have
If it
that.
has that.
It's gonna have
if
that.
it has it in there, how much you think the console gonna cost? Let's just play with the Xbox,
It's
guys.
gonna be $299.
Yeah, I agree.
It's $299.
They're gonna give that shit away.
It's gonna be.
It's gonna have 12 core Threadripper, 64
right.
gigs of RAM.
16 threads. On
They're gonna be like
16
Microsoft.
terabytes
Microsoft can take the hit.
Yeah, $16
$1 billion company.
16 terabytes of
They're
SSD.
not gonna take the. Listen, these guys are here to make money. They're not here to lose money. They're not gonna take it.
So I'm,
32 gigs of RAM.
I'm telling you, that's what these Xbox guys are going to tell you. If they're going to be like, Microsoft can take the hit, they can sell it for $299. That's what they're going to tell you,
Richest
bro.
company in the world. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put this on Twitter right now. I'm gonna put the specs up.
2 years.
Can't take a hit, but they won't. They won't take a hit. That's the difference.
They're not taking
willing to take a hit. They're $1 billion, trillion-dollar company for a reason.
Yo,
They
there's
to
no
make
way.
money.
There's no way they're gonna convince Satya to green light taking a hit. He's gonna be like, you want me to do what? What? Like what? Take a hit? No. You lucky we still have
Gears of
gaming.
War sold?
Like, nah, we're not doing that.
Nah, Peanut, let me ask you something about the Xbox 2 and the PS5. Are they coming $500?
I think
is that the minimum they come?
I think it's
I think that's okay. I mean, that's a lot of tech. I mean, Ryzen, Navi, solid state drive, 3D audio,
$499, $599, around that area.
It's gonna be minimum $499. I think at this point we could give up on the $400.
The max is $599 to me.
$600.
The max, yeah. But when people
so for that thread rip,
that shit gives me nightmares. And you know, J Bar, we remember that $599. Oh my god. I remember.
You know what they're gonna do? You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna do $499 and $599 just due to the memory.
You think so?
They're gonna have like a 1 terabyte.
Oh, then a 2 terabyte.
And the 600 one is gonna be like a 2 terabyte, something like that. Yeah.
Same system, just different hard drive space.
That's different hard drive space.
Man,
that's only the hardcore will go by the $600 ones. Let's be honest,
for sure.
Because you could put your own hard drive. I know a lot of people want to put their own SSD drive. Because that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna do that.
Or external drives.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna go full SSD for the next one. I'm gonna go all in.
Well, external or internal?
Internal. Like swap out I always swap out. Well, like, you know, for this gen, you know, because they initially sold the PS5 with a 500 gig. I'm like, fuck that. I knew already. I'm like, you ain't fucking me with this shit. I already had an external. I already had an internal swap out. The day I bought it.
But
2 terabyte, my shit.
Would that hard drive be faster than the PS5? Because obviously they're talking about the special SSD.
So it's gonna have SSD, but I'm pretty sure like the storage. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? If you get a normal Samsung SSD,
you rely on external
would
storage.
that be compatible with the Sony one?
The what?
What techniques to use it for the games? The SSD.
I have a feeling the SSD is like a chip or something that's embedded to the hardware.
It's the M2 drive. That's gonna be on the board.
I don't think it's the hard drive itself. I don't think it's I think it's still gonna use a standard hard drive, but I think they did something because
saying that they're gonna have like flash memory on there.
Yeah, because I can't see them putting in an actual SSD hard drive because one, it's not gonna have a lot of space because it's expensive, and two, like if you expect people to swap it out, then that means you're gonna have to buy. You have to buy another SSD because you can't go backwards.
Special one.
Yeah, you can't go backwards. You can't go back to HDD. So
you need to have proprietary SSDs.
They have to. It has to be a solution that's internal to the.
Unless Sony sells one on the store.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. The proprietary one.
Yeah.
They pull up Vita.
They pull a Vita, huh? Yeah, fuck that. And I'll be straight PC gaming then, bro.
The Vita's dog shit.
Man, I'll be car killed that fucking
leave the Vita alone, man. Leave the Vita alone, man.
You and my man, what's my man's name? Oh man, fucking this dude's boy, Salarez's boy. Fuck, what's his name?
Oh, Blaze.
Well, Blaze, yeah, Blaze 4K. Oh my God, he made a video response on Twitter. He's like, Vita got no games? Then what's this? He's showing me like, yo, that dude has like 100 games on Vita. He's like, we got this.
He dumped it all on the floor, right?
The Vita got mad games, man. Those people don't want to buy it.
He listed all of them. Yo, that man, he's like, we got RPGs, JRPGs, RTSs. You want shooters? Look at that. Look at all the shooters. You want horror games? We got horror games. He's like, if I wasn't, such a fanboy, you got me all triggered over this shit. I'm like, oh shit. Fucking
hey, yo.
I love it when they go crazy.
So, like a lot of the games that the Switch that everybody praising, the Vita got it. The Vita has it on there.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh man. I think what did Vita in was that damn memory card. They should have just went with a regular SSD.
Yeah, the memory card killed it. It killed it. But yo, you know it's a good buy if you don't want the handheld. Yo, the Vita TV, yo, it's a good buy. I love that Vita TV shit.
For what?
It's like pretty much
games on it, right?
Yeah, it's just a box, and you can just hook it up with an HDMI to your TV. Instead of just having like a handheld, you just had the Vita TV hooked up like a regular console.
Oh, come on, JB, man, that's bullshit.
That's how you play Vita games.
That's how I play some of my Vita games. Yeah.
Why don't Sony just make an app and put Vita games on the PlayStation?
Basically, it's a hardware app. Basically, you can play your classic games on there, right?
Could they put that into the PS Now service?
Oh yeah,
they
that wouldn't be
bad.
bad.
They did.
Like for real, like just open up the PS Vita app and put it on the console. I mean, for one, you might as well not lose out on making money on all these games.
Vita TV ain't dog shit. Yo, trust that junk good. It's good. Cause you have all the old school games in there.
What's that Killzone? The over the shoulder, the third person one. That's on Vita.
Mercenaries.
Yeah, Mercenaries.
I think it's still first person.
Still first person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it first person? What's that over?
Part
What's that
over here
top
thinking
down?
the breakpoint.
You probably talking about the Resistance one.
Is it Resistance? That's top down? I'm thinking it's probably Resistance.
I'm not sure because I didn't play the Resistance. I got the Killzone. I don't have the Resistance one, but
No, yeah, the Killzone.
I'm assuming that's.
I thought there was a top down game that was Mercy. Maybe it was Resistance, but there was a top down.
Maybe.
You know, and it looked good.
If you know, put in the chat if y'all know.
Y'all know what I'm talking about, or am I fucking on crack or some shit?
That nigga was thinking about Quantum Break.
Oh,
Shit.
Oh shit.
Oh, he said that was on PSP. That was on PSP.
All right.
Yeah.
They had one for PSP.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate
That was
it.
Killzone, though.
I do believe so.
Yeah, he
Top
said
down
top
was
down was on
PSP.
PSP.
Okay.
Word. Oh, I didn't even know they had one.
He said top down was on PCP.
PCP and shit.
No.
Yeah, but you know what I'm thinking? Just open up the Vita app on PlayStation, and then that's it. Do like an emulation type thing. You open up the app.
That'll be fire, yo. Because Vita got a lot of good games, man, that people miss out on.
Oh, who laughing?
No, I'm laughing because of the PCP.
PCP.
Oh yeah, he actually put Vita PCP. Oh shit. You gotta be high playing that motherfucker. Yo, all right. So
That was a good console, man. That was a console.
question. So this thing, all right. So Sony layoffs. Here's my question: who gives a fuck?
So I don't
Like
know.
how does like everything's becoming a big deal. Like you know what's funny?
I don't want to sound like an ass, but yo, people get laid off every day. B.
Yeah,
You tough, right?
My man sound like
Oh, shit.
paid in full and shit.
Yeah. I had to go pay them full real quick, man. Like yo, people get laid off every day, B.
Brexit for it.
Oh, he said, my man, I'm all shot up. He's like, you good, man. You know, you take a little nap, have some soup, you be back in the game. And that dude's like twitching, drooling and shit. I'm like, yo, this fucking dude.
It's like yo, you gonna be alright? You tough,
let's
right?
be honest, that's just for the console war. I say anything for Sony, like any bad news for Sony or Xbox, everybody just goes at it. That's all it is. It's fucking nothing to us.
You right.
But why?
But none of it makes sense. You know what's funny though? In reality, none of it makes sense. Like everybody should be like, what?
100%.
Like it don't make sense. Like,
it doesn't make sense.
It was like the marketing firm in Europe. It was like some guys got laid off and they were part of the marketing team. You know, and everybody was like, okay.
How people even find? I didn't even see an article on that shit. Like people just be finding these shits, man.
I know it's crazy how to find all these type of articles. It's too funny.
He's saying it's crazy. Sean's running right. Fuck out of here.
Yo,
Yeah, it's crazy. It's all typing.
I just don't get why.
motherfuckers like Felicity. Motherfuckers like Felicity and Arrow and shit. Overwatch.
Motherfuckers, the Oracle and
They're
shit.
like this. They're like
Yo,
They're looking like this and shit.
these dudes get the news before you, and you like hours ahead of us. Like you supposed to get everything first. These dudes are on it. They
have like 10 monitors. They're like, we got him. We got to send it to Iron Lord's podcast. We got him. Like, what
crazy,
the fuck?
dog.
Send it to GRT.
Oh shit.
Got this shit. Copy and paste. Send it in the DMs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
on it, bro.
shit.
Yeah, retweet this.
I'm like, yo, this
But
shit.
why are people tweeting Sony stocks and stuff like that? I mean, what are we doing here?
Shout out to my man. Shout out to my
let me
man
ask you
King
this.
David and the Iron Lords. Great
I love
podcast.
King also.
Great podcast.
hell
Shout out to
are
them.
you doing?
But my man King David, man, he knows how to play the game. My man's from New York, He knows.
Yeah, that's a BX bully too,
Yeah,
man.
he Bronx.
Yeah, he wildin' though.
My man's from the Bronx. He knows how to stroke the fire. Man, my man knows how to do it. Shout out to King David Island's podcast. Great podcast. Shout out to them. But my man he put that little bait out, right? And then that's it. That shit set the internet on fire early in the morning. Oh, that shit was for
It was good. It was good timing too because the firing news added to it.
Shit is funny. Oh my god, that shit was dying. But the funny part is, him, I understand he's doing a joke, so I throw it in, add some fuel to fire. But there's people in the conversation that's like really serious. They're like, yeah, man.
100%.
Like, yeah, Microsoft stocks. And I'm like, oh shit, this dude's for real.
Those are the people that don't understand.
Like people like I'd be like, why would a gamer give a fuck about stocks? There's people actually answering the question. They're trying to like tell me, no, it's important. Because, when the company grows, you get it reflected back on Xbox. And I'm like, oh, yeah? What game did you play lately for that to happen? Because I ain't seeing it.
There's some crazy guys out there, P-Rock. Just that loyalty is too extreme.
I agree with that.
Honest with you.
Yeah.
Where you going?
Yo, that's some funny shit, man. Yo, that's some funny
Use the
shit.
bathroom, man.
Like, you know the people who are bullshitting, but then you see the people who are serious.
You know the serious guys.
Like, I'm like, oh shit, these dudes really looking at stocks. I'm like, oh.
No, it's like who was it?
Yo, dudes added it to their phone widget.
Yo,
I'm gonna add this stock to the widget now.
They kind of
Crazy, dog.
Oh shit.
What y'all talking about? My bad.
No, it's like K-Mega talking about PlayStation did it succeed.
Hey, he's been reporting a lot of bullshit lately, bro.
Yeah.
Man.
That dude. The fucking rolling
Can we say names on here? Can we say names in here?
Go ahead.
Say his
Fuck
name, give a fuck.
Fuck it.
Because two people. Listen, I love these people to death, but when it comes to gaming, these people piss me off.
Talk that shit.
K-Mega and Xbox 448.
Oh,
you know why they piss me off?
Why?
Because they always come up with this standpoint, right? And it's always like so
They don't want to
one-sided,
support the
like,
games.
it's shit crazy.
Jamie, that's not it. It's because it's white.
Bro, like I don't have no personal issues with Xbox 448. But when I listen to like Mooch,
funny.
Crack Gamer podcast, this dude be like, well, I'm a gamer, all right? I'm a gamer. And PlayStation 4 in my house, all right? In my household, we don't have no PlayStation.
Hey, wait, he hated Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm like, yo, this man, every time he leads off an argument with, I'm a gamer, though. And I'm like, yo, bro, you a gamer, but you ain't got no PS4. You sold it. That shit crazy.
That's the same guy who says the difference between 900p and 1080p
he sold the one
138
console,
pixels.
right? Other than obviously the Switch.
But between
shout out to Xbox 448.
It's the only
Shout out
to Xbox 448.
Yes, shout out to him. But goddamn,
We talking shit, but shout out, bro.
PlayStation 4, right?
$1080p.
Between Xbox and PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 is the only one left with actual big new AAAs coming out before next gen starts. Like Xbox is done.
Let's got Ori. There's Ori in the Will of the Wisp.
Oh, bro,
That's fire.
this man be like, yo, Spider-Man is trash. Yo, I'm hyped for Battletoads. I'm like, what? What's going on here?
Hey, when I was on a podcast with him, I checked him on that shit too. I was like, wait,
Yo,
you said Spider-Man was trash, but you like Extinction?
there's no way.
Huh?
There's no way you could be hyped.
That's
for
like the
Battletoads.
worst game this generation.
The Battletoads that Microsoft showed, that is not the Battletoads we were expecting.
That ain't my Battletoads.
That's not hashtag not my
that's dog shit.
Battletoads. Nobody was
Not my
That's worse than
expecting.
Cuphead.
Nobody was.
That's worse than
expecting-
Cuphead.
Oh my god! Nobody was.
That shit look
Man,
like
the
like
man-
Castle Crashers 3.
When they show.
Been seeing these for a year.
Fact. Am I lying? I do.
Yo, he was hyping Sea of Thieves for a year.
That shit look
But then
like China
he
Lights.
traded in his PS4 because it wasn't providing him with the games. On here,
Yo,
people.
that was the BGST crew. Come on, I just came off.
Yo.
I said it then. I go, you and your white daddies just hyped all the shit up.
Yo, like I said, I don't have no personal issues. Like it's fun and games, but I'm just like, damn, bro.
Talk that shit, JB. Don't
I'm just like, yo, bro.
That is.
Hey, is it just me or Sean sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger? This shit. Hey, bro.
Well, I mean,
Sean,
he
your
said
mic up, bro. This shit funny.
Nah, look, that guy.
You can stop it now.
Stop it now. Get the chopper.
Yeah, that guy said the difference in 900p and 1080p is 138 pixels, and it's like 33% clarity. And it's like you're spreading this misinformation. It's misinformation. Like I said, it's just shout out to him, but you got to stop at the
they talk. K Mega, Xbox. Listen to all these Xbox guys that's still holding a war.
Hey, this next gen tweet out for the love your family. You know, don't listen to GRG or get information from those guys. Shit was funny as hell, man.
Like I like to listen to everybody, man. I like to get different perspectives.
Hey, shout out to the chat too, because hey, the reason why most of us hate Battletoads is keep it a buck, because the game was hard as fuck and left us traumatized.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Back in the day, the game was hard as fuck, right?
It was.
But now we expected, like, all right, you know, some big AAA shit. Man. Give us some big AAA shit. They didn't give us that. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is the shit y'all bragged about for over a year or two? I'm like, oh my god. Motherfuckers painted t-shirts and shit?
Yeah, that's bad, bro.
Yeah. I don't know anybody that really like Battletoads like that, because that game was super hard. Yeah. Everybody got to the tree area, like where you had to jump across on that tree platform and all that shit. And that's when everybody was just like, all right, bro.
It's a wrap. It's a dub. It's a dub after that. Yeah,
well, you do know what happened. You do know the frogs filed a complaint, so now you will be able to play Battle Frogs with the DLC of Battletoads. I was going to break that tomorrow morning with my Xbox Scarlet specs that I got, but I'll break it on here on 60 frames, no lag, with the crew.
I mean,
that's right.
Hey, we know we missing one individual.
Where's J-Dub at?
He's on his way home. He just tweeted.
Oh, okay. All right.
He said he had something happen. He was on his way home.
He said he coming.
He was stupid. He did something stupid.
He doesn't want me to talk shit about my Yankees whooping his. We're about to whoop his Astros ass.
Gang.
Nah. I'll be honest with you. His wife is beating. Pause.
Shane, stick to soccer, right?
Oh shit!
I don't like soccer.
All right, what? That's a lie. Everybody in Europe likes soccer.
I don't like soccer.
Football. I don't like
football.
Football, yeah, that's right. They call it, because I call it soccer. They be like, you mean football? I'm like, no.
Hey, in other countries, like, hey, in other countries, they really don't fuck.
I'd be like, no. Don't confuse it. All right, we play football. You guys play soccer.
Tell me how it is. Does anybody watch American football in Germany?
What? American football?
Does anybody watch them? Yeah.
Not really, no.
But they did have the games in England. They had the whatchamacallit?
London, I believe. Was it London?
Yeah, there was in London.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had that. But American football's not the big. But I be fucking with them. But then they be fucking with me back. So I be like, listen, it's soccer, okay? They be like, okay, and then they come back and be like,
kind of big,
our game we play with our feet. Your game you play with your hands. But yet you want to call it football. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh shit.
I'm like, oh
start sipping his drink real slow.
I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I ain't got nothing. I told him, listen, I'm Puerto Rican.
I ain't got no argument.
Listen, I'm Puerto Rican. We play baseball. I was just, never mind.
It was observation, bro.
It was just observation. I was just,
That's a good one, though. That's a good one.
I play baseball. I was like, oh shit, they got me on that one. Be like, you play with your hands and you call it football. Why don't you then they asked me, no, it was fun. They asked me like, hey, why don't you call it handball? I'm like, okay, so handball, I'm from New York, so handball's a totally different sport for us.
Yeah, handball's completely different.
And they're like, and they looking at us and shit like, yo, it's crazy, but man, that's crazy.
Well,
but let me ask you this, right? So who's getting Death Stranding? I'm gonna ask you, who's getting Death Stranding? Because I know there's a lot of people.
That's A1 day one.
That's A1 day one.
A1
Shenmue.
Yeah, we sound like a cult right now, huh? Yeah.
That's already pre-ordered. Yo, the funny thing about Death Stranding, I'm not hyped for it. I'm not hyped for Death Stranding, but it sold me. Remember that Twitch trailer that there was the hands was removed? That trailer right there sold me on the game.
Like my niggas. You know what I'm saying? So you know the embargo for the reviews is coming out a week before.
Yeah, 70 for you. Yeah, that's confidence.
That's confidence.
It's gonna get a 75. White Zaddy's gonna give it a 75.
Oh shit!
Right now.
Craig, we're about to bang your ass. Don't do not be disrespectful to Kojima. Right? If Kojima's allowing, listen. If Kojima's allowing,
I like Kojima.
If Kojima's allowing the embargo to come out a week before the game comes out, He knows he's spitting hot fire.
But this is not okay. I agree, but this is not about Kojima. This is about Zaddy.
No.
Zaddy's going to give that score. Give that game 75.
He's going to put in 100 hours.
Craig,
I agree with you.
With these words, bro.
I agree with you, but look, these people in the community, they're going to go by what White Zaddy says, not by what Kojima and what,
I'm going to be real. You know how much shit I'm going to talk if that game gets a 90 or higher meta? Oh, my
it's only 75.
God.
I'm calling it right now. Calling it right now. 60 frames, no lag. White Zaddy, because everybody loves Zaddy.
Who's White Zaddy? Is that cool? That's cool for who?
What now? You don't know who White Zaddy is? You gotta listen to my podcast. I did a whole podcast.
No, but
on
it seems like you use that term for like 50 people.
No, it's White Zaddy.
Is it Digital Foundry?
It's White Zaddy. Doesn't matter.
I know.
Yo, that terminology, like New York, that's like a sugar daddy.
Yeah,
you know
I know.
what I mean?
White Zaddy in New York means a sugar daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
It's the hood girls going out with the rich white dudes.
Well, again, I break it. What do you kids say? I break it down for you. Want to know who White Zaddy is? I break it down.
But here's the thing: your podcast is like on a different hour on a different day.
No, 9:00 tomorrow morning. I'll break it down. I got to do that. I got to do the specs for the Scarlet.
Oh, I'm in there. I'm in there.
9 in the morning for you, East Coast.
Yeah, Eastern time.
So that's 3 p.m. Okay. I could rock. I could dig it.
Gotta find out who White Zaddy is.
I could dig it. So I'm gonna find out.
So I'll do it. And you'll get the specs to Scarlet too, because I've got the specs right here. Can you hear the paper? I got it.
This guy got a brown.
I'm the same. Wait a minute. I'm the same man that told you all the power.
You got the OE in there.
No, I'm the same. No, I mean, look, I'm the tech guy now. D got fired. They broke his legs the other day. So look, I'm going to give you the Scarlet specs right from the heart. You know, like Jay Barry says here, speak with your heart. Yeah, so as I should, and I'm going to tell you who White Zaddy is because that's important. The community reacts off of Zaddy. But I'll break it down.
Shout out to Carl Crespin. Thank you for the super chat. He says the pissing sim will get higher score than Gears 5. Oh shit! Yo, I want to ask you something.
It probably will.
I want to ask you something. So I saw this tweet about a week ago, and seeing how Gears little by little is dropping out of the rankings for games. I think it's now ranked 17th most played game. So it's falling off little by little.
That's all. It's
falling off.
On the Xbox store?
Yeah, on Xbox. Yeah, most played, it's out of the top 10.
I play them all day.
It's out of the top 10 now.
So
I play all day.
Top 5. What's back to number 1? Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite's always been. Fortnite's there. Fucking. Borderlands is up there. Damn, all these games are up there. But here's my thing, right? And then I guess recently Coalition's cracking down hard, handing out year-long bans. Like that's crazy. For
that's
Quentin,
crazy.
Quentin, I never heard of getting a year-long ban for Quentin. Never. Like I heard for racism. I heard for racism and shit like that. But for Quentin, a year-long ban.
It's fair dues if it's racism, but
like dog.
Oh, they gotta fix that, bro. They gotta fix that for real. You can have penalizations for certain things when rage quitting, but you can't have it that severe. That's kind of
restricted for ranking. Like let's say you restrict them out of ranked matches for 10 days. You could play non-ranked matches, but you're restricted from But just a year-long ban outright, you ain't gonna have nobody play the game. Like that.
You right too. It is number 17 on the Xbox most played.
Yeah, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm disgraced. So now here's my question. So it came up like a week ago, right? Somebody asked, why can't Xbox use the same strategy that Sony is using, where Sony relies for multiplayer, for the big multiplayer from third party, and they produce their own first party, right? Why can't Microsoft have the same philosophy, but the opposite? Rely on third party for first party, for single player games, right? And let Microsoft focus on providing multiplayer games.
Who said that?
I forgot who said that. This is like a week ago.
I remember it, but I just told
what do you think about the philosophy? Where Sony relies on third party for the multiplayer, they make sure they bring out the banging single player. Well, for Microsoft, right, since that's the multiplayer console, quote unquote, they rely on third party for the single player aspect of the games, but they push out big third
multiplayer. I don't agree. I don't agree with both notions. I think that like a first party studio or first party, games, you should provide both to appease to your audience.
And it seemed like they did that with the PS3, remember with Starhawker and all that shit?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like PlayStation,
right, man.
PlayStation had their own. They had their own branch, like their own division, creating multiplayer game, but that's more for a PC.
Right.
They were overdoing it. To be honest,
they was overdoing it.
Yeah.
Little big
The problem
PlayStation All Stars.
The problem is, look how many multiplayer games are there now.
Yes.
There's so many. Halo was massive. Like everybody talks about Halo, but you Call of Duty, Battlefield, Fortnite, Apex Legends, Overwatch. You got so many multiplayer games. And when it comes to the single player games, there's quite a lot of single players, but the level of like God of War and like Uncharted and other games like that, there's not many like that. Red Dead Redemption, and there's not many like that.
So I partially agree with
party studio should provide both.
I partially agree with Jay Barry. All right, the crutch or from my view, the big issue, and it's not really an issue, but these third parties are creating big multiplayer games, but some of them are free. So what can a first party do to compete with a free, multiplayer game that's huge? You see what I'm saying? That is one thing for a third party to create a $60 game, right? Multiplayer game. So you're going to create a big $60 game. But when a third party comes out with a free to play and that shit is the biggest thing out there, what can you create to compete with that? Like you're literally competing with a free game. Like Fortnite, Apex Legends. Y'all hear me? Like Fortnite, Apex Legends, Dauntless, Warframe. Like, how do you compete with that? Like, how you as a first party try to build up a portfolio of big multiplayer games, but yet games like Warframe, Dauntless, Fortnite, Apex Legends just comes out of the blue and take over.
Them games are mobile as well. Look at Call of Duty.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
But those games, even those games right there, Porter that's listed off, they're even like affecting Call of Duty because a lot of implementations that Call of Duty is doing now is based off of those free game structure that you pay $60
for. That's why Call of Duty has become a mobile game as well.
Yeah, look at this. To Call of Duty, right? First, you have to buy the game for $60, and then you have to pay if you're on consoles for a subscription service, right? Fortnite
online,
none of that. Or unless you're on Xbox, but on PlayStation, PC, Switch, you just download the game and play. That's it.
To throw that in one more time.
Oh, the Xbox. unless you're Xbox. Which I want to know. I want to say something, right? All right. So PlayStation does cross-play. PlayStation's putting a few games on PS Now, right? All this crazy shit that people complain. PlayStation's now getting backwards compatibility. Yeah, Xbox still not allowing free to play to be free.
They still ain't respond to that because people been talking.
And none of these Xbox dudes.
They're not going to respond to that.
And none of these Xbox dudes are saying anything. None of them.
The problem is, Peter, they're not going to respond to that because it's all about the money. That's what Microsoft is all about. They're all about that bottom line. It's all about the money. That's it. They don't give a shit.
Oh, shit.
But the thing is, you got to realize, Sean, that PlayStation, regardless of what you're saying now, PlayStation is making more money than Microsoft making just on PSN.
Shout out my man, David. He tried to provide alternative facts on that.
No, I agree with you. It should be free. But that's how they make the money, because the games have been weak and that's the income straight up.
But here's the thing. I think they will get a bigger reach because remember, you're talking about free to plays, right? You're talking about games like Fortnite, whatever, right? If you open up those games for free to play, that means the rest of the Xbox community that did not sign up for Gold, they are now in the multiplayer crowd, right? And pretty much it's kind of like the gateway drug. Now that they're enjoying Fortnite, they're enjoying Apex, they're enjoying Dauntless, right? They might now want to play Call of Duty. They might now want to play Halo. You know what I'm saying? They might want more choices in multiplayer games, right? And the only way they could do it is by signing up. So they get a little taste of what that multiplayer flavor is. And they're like, you know what? This is actually not bad. Let me check out how this Gears of War 5 is. And then they're like, oh, no, wait a minute. You got to sign up for gold. All right, fuck it. Let me sign up for gold then. You see what I'm saying?
100% agree with you. It should be free.
If for anything else, let's say that doesn't even happen, right? If for anything else, you'll at least get more people playing Fortnite, right? You'll get more people playing Apex Legends. You get more people playing Dauntless. You get more people playing Warframe, right? And when those people put money down on those bullshit dance moves and cosmetics, because that's where they make the money, right?
Costume, yeah.
But here's the thing.
Costumes and all that.
But when they buy those cosmetics and DLC and all that bullshit, Microsoft and Sony gets a cut. So if for anything else, you get a cut of this increased revenue of all these DLC bullshit that people are now buying. If for anything else.
That's the biggest. That's what they make the most money, Peter. Fortnite's like the biggest money.
Oh,
for PlayStation and Xbox, that's the biggest money.
That's what people understand. So when you buy content, it doesn't matter. If you buy a T-shirt on a game, the distributor gets a cut. So if you buy whatever content you buy on PSN or whatever content you buy on Xbox Live, the store, whether it's a DLC, an avatar, a gun, a move, a dance move, whatever, they get a cut from that. Every single sale that's transacted, they get a cut on every single sale. So if you buy something on the PSN store or the Xbox Live store, Microsoft gets a cut, Sony gets a cut. No, it could be a stupid avatar. They get a cut.
Yeah, let me ask you something, Peter. Why do you think Microsoft has they kept the paywall up for? Why do you think they haven't taken it down yet?
I don't know. It just blows my mind. Why? They're the only device.
If Sony can't do it,
they're the only device in the world where these free-to-plays are locked behind a paywall.
Where you going?
Oh, shit.
That's weird. Like you said, the only device you got the PlayStation, Nintendo, the mobile market,
even Nintendo
and Xbox
allows it for free.
And even and Xbox, it baffles me now, to be honest.
Shout out to the chat.
They have no reason to do it. To be honest with you, there's no reason at all.
For the free to plays, they would think that it would be bigger for them. Because again, the free to plays, the money comes from the transactions, the DLC. That's how they make their money. And the kids, they spend a lot of money on that bullshit.
And that's their top playing games too. Yeah. Fortnite and Apex Legends, that's their top playing games.
It's the number one making money for PlayStation and Xbox. It's the number one game for.
It's just, I ain't gonna lie, it annoys the shit out of me seeing Fortnite's the number one play game.
Yeah, that's all my nephew. That's all my nephew plays, man. He on Fortnite all day.
When that game, when it was already hot, but this is like 2 years ago, whatever, I said, fuck it, let me try it. Man, when I was shooting around and a dude built a mansion in front of me, and then I went inside it and got killed, I'm like, I'm deleting this shit. This motherfucker built a mansion. This dude built a top. Yo, bro.
People nice with it, man.
Bro. These dudes look like carpenters from Mexico. They built that shit mad quick. I pull a trigger. They're like, brrr. They built like the Tower of Babel. I'm like, yo, and then they snipe me.
You gotta build, bro. You gotta build.
Yo, your building, your building skills gotta be better than your shooting skills. Yo, that shit is crazy, bro. I'm like, if these motherfuckers worked for Trump, they'd be building that wall in 10 minutes, bro. I'm like, yo. I was like, yo, I couldn't play this game.
Oh my God.
I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. I deleted that shit. I went uninstall.
So Peter.
Nah.
Yeah. So Peter, can you see this game slowing down at all? Fortnite, yeah.
Yo, dude, how much that money that kid won? 3 million? How much did he win?
Yeah. Yeah, about 3 million.
That's the largest purse for a single event, right?
I'm pretty sure it was one of the biggest ones.
The thing is with Fortnite, there's a certain YouTuber that has a list and he's light skinned. He was calling this for the longest that Fortnite is going to be a major sell because whoever's marketing for that game, all of the trends. When Thanos and the Avengers was coming through, they added that in there. They put in Batman in there, and people are eating that shit up, bro. They are on top of every trend.
Very smart.
Yo, that shit is crazy, bro. That game, I don't know how it is, bro.
They updated, man. They updated quick. They updated stuff quick.
That tournament, that Fortnite tournament, the top 100 players who played in that tournament, they all right off the bat got $50K just for showing up.
Wow.
Nice.
$50K just for being part of the tournament. That's
shit. I'm about to get nice for it.
J Bar's like, man, fuck fighters. I just had to get fuck the line.
For real,
from
dog.
now on, the online arcade is doing Fortnite.
Fortnite, dog.
That's the thing, Peter.
$50K just to be there. Oh,
wow. Like us guys don't understand really how big are these gaming events like League of Legends, Fortnite, Apex, and other other games. But League of Legends is supposed to be massive, and people win shitloads of money as well. It's a different ball game, straight.
Even the 2K, the league teams. Yeah, you ever watch that on Twitch? The actual.
Never seen it. How big is it?
So you haven't seen that shit? That the NBA sponsors actual gamers named after their teams. Like there's like the New York Knicks digital. Like they live together. Like they all for 6 months out of the year, the top players they get drafted. They do a draft
together.
Yeah, they do a draft every year, and then they live together, right? And for like that 6 month period, they get paid money. So they earn maybe $60,000 just for playing whatever. And that's not even part of the tournament. So they all live in an apartment together. They practice. They play games every week. They travel from city to city. It's literally taking the video game and they made an NBA schedule. So the first season, the Knicks won. I'm like, man, this is sad that I get to see a championship and it's the digital Knicks. Yo, this shit is funny. But the dudes, when I looked at the sign up on what you got to do, you have to move in with them. If you want to sign up for the league, they move you in. They pay you to move in. And you live in the city where you're training for. It's crazy, bro. That.
I ain't never heard of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's 2K sponsored. And each of the teams, the Knicks are actually sponsored. Each NBA team sponsors their own team for this digital tournament. So it's literally the digital version of the Knicks versus the league and shit like that. And they do playoffs and an NBA championship. So the first season, this team, the Knicks, the players from the Knicks, they won. And mind you, they were a wild card. So, they just barely made it. But once they got into the playoffs, they waxed everybody. I was laughing. I was
playoffs?
oh, my God. Yo, I was like, I cannot believe the Knicks won the first season of this tournament. Yo, and the dudes were chilling. They play on, they train all day. They're in their rooms. They practice plays. It's crazy how they have this shit set up.
Yeah, Pirak, we got a good question from who's this? Spartan God. He goes, what if Fortnite got VR support?
Oh shit! You know, J-Dub will be in there day one.
Yeah,
how big would that be? Fucking hell!
But the thing is, Fortnite is a third person. It's a third person game, so I don't know how VR would be. Call of Duty VR.
Be a big seller. It could be a big seller.
You can have an overview.
Call of Duty.
Overview type.
Call of Duty VR. Oh shit.
Oh, not to go off rails here, but Mike Ybarra, he quit, right? And not quit, but he left Xbox.
He left,
right? Yeah. Where do you guys think he's going? If he's going anywhere, where would you suggest him to
stay?
He's a PC gamer, so he might go with some.
No, what we've been told.
I'm saying Epic. I'm saying Epic. I think he should go Epic.
Epic or Google Stadia. He might be going there.
He's got a better.
What did he do? What was his job?
Software.
Services
big
for crossplay.
But for games or services.
He was head of Game Pass. I know that was your fact.
So his services?
You remember when Xbox was doing all them updates? Yeah. I think he was in charge of the updates because I remember I always see him previewing the updates.
So he could
with Major Nelson.
Possibly go to Google Stadia if he's doing services and shit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the thing is, Tim told us he got offered that job in 2017 for Stadia and he declined it.
Well, maybe not.
He made one now.
A lot of things happened since 2017.
I'm just saying.
It's true.
Apparently,
money talks. Google got a lot of that.
Yeah. No, that's why I said Google Stadia, and Tim goes, he declined it back then. But I'm pretty sure he's got a better job title.
Juan 4K is stupid. He said Mikey Barr was fired because he came up with the idea to turn Game Pass into Ultimate Game Pass for $1, and nobody bought Gears because of it. He says,
yeah, you might be right, yo.
He's stupid. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I think Sean Lane got fired because he kept talking about PC too much. Like, you know what, Sean?
You know why Sean Lane got fired? Real talk.
Like, Sean, you keep bringing up PC. Shut the fuck up. He's like, hey,
Jim Ryan saw that quote.
He's like, we might have to bring first-party multiplayer to PC. Oh, hell nah. Get rid of this ejecto, cuz. Jim Ryan's like, ejecto, cuz. Bringing first-party multiplayer.
I love Sean Layden. But this man said that he's gonna give more light to the competing platforms like Xbox and Nintendo Switch, and I was like, "What the hell is this man saying right now?"
I need that quote.
Yo, Sean Layden said that. Remember, he was like, "Yo, he's gonna try recognize the other platforms more and stuff like that."
Oh hell nah!
I gotta find it, yo. But he definitely said it in the interview.
Oh man, Sony's.
So what? So P-Rock. What did
Ryan saw that
Sean Layden, that situation with him and Jim Ryan?
I don't know. Like, here's the thing. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, Sean Layden was the old guard," and I'm thinking, have y'all been listening to this dude the last 6 months? That dude said PlayStation may have to open up their first-party multiplayer to PC. When I saw that quote, I'm like, "Oh shit." This shit's fucking Phil Spencer type talk.
Ryan ain't about all that.
I'm like, this is like Phil Spencer level talking. I'm like, this motherfucker. Yeah. When I saw him say that, I'm thinking, oh shit, this shit's gonna change. Like, you're gonna start seeing some more PlayStation shit on PC. You know,
like, I remember Sean said he wanted an exclusive for every quarter.
I'm like, yo, Jim Ryan's not playing that. He's like, nah, motherfucker, nah, we not doing this.
Jim Ryan also said that PlayStation and Xbox are two totally separate ecosystems with two different
Jim Ryan did say that.
Jim Ryan says stupid shit all the time, don't he? He talks about backwards.
Ryan said a lot of crazy stuff, but he always has the incentive for PlayStation gamers in mind. Everything he always says like, yo, it's about PlayStation gamers. We want to give an incentive to buy into the ecosystem, buy PlayStation.
He does damage control a few things though. Rudy said nobody buy shit for backwards compatibility. Hyped it up.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Like when the PC came, he's like, damn, what can I do to protect my PlayStation Nation? Hey, nobody wants to play old games. And then crossplay. You want to talk about crossplay? Hey, we gotta think of the children with crossplay.
Remember when Sean Lane said he wanted to come out with an exclusive for every quarter, something like that? 4 exclusives basically per year. It was like,
my man said,
Sean Layden was like, exclusive gonna slow down.
My man Jim Ryan said we gotta worry about the children and the content that comes from crossplay.
Oh shit! He said some weird shit, to be honest. But we'll see.
That dude comes out with damage control for us. I'm like, yo.
He cutthroat, bro. He cutthroat, man.
Comes out with good damage control for us. I'm like, yo, this dude's crazy.
So do you reckon he's gonna take that position of Layden?
The what?
He's going to take Sean Layden's position.
No. So
they're streamlining.
No. So people don't understand. So Jim Ryan is the actual CEO of PlayStation. He took over. So him and Codera, John Codera, they flopped. They switched that flop, but they switched positions. So John Codera is now the deputy CEO of PlayStation because he wants to focus more on the PlayStation Network. When John Codera became PlayStation's CEO, obviously as CEO, you can't be in the fight for a lot of things, right? So he didn't realize, he thought he could still be heavily involved in PSN. He can't. So he's going to be the deputy. So they swapped positions. So Jim Ryan, because Jim Ryan was the deputy, John Codera was the CEO, but John Codera wants more hands-on the future PlayStation Network. So they swap positions. So Jim Ryan now is the CEO of the PlayStation division. Or really, it's actually called SIE, Sony Interactive Entertainment. That's the actual true name, right? It's not PlayStation.
Yeah, Sean Layden is just Sean Layden was the chairman
of like the US of the America
Party Studio.
And the first party studios, that's what
pretty much had Shuhei. Him and Shuhei pretty much had like the same job, but Shuhei was the president, Sean Layden was like the chairman.
Yeah. So Jim
Jim
Ryan.
Shuhei goes to make this happen.
Yeah. So Jim Ryan's the actual CEO of SIE. John Cordero's the deputy CEO of SIE. And the reason why they did that fly, and they did that switch like in February or something like that, or April. And it's because John Cordero said he wants more involvement in the PSN, the future of PSN. So that's why they did the swap. So Jim Ryan. So everybody's like, oh, Sean Layden. Sean Layden was never the boss. He was never the boss.
Yeah, Sean Layden was more first party. He's not the overseer.
He oversees the first party studio.
A lot of people confuse that picture because Sean Layden's sitting next to Phil. Technically, Phil's the boss of of Xbox. Sean Layden is not the boss of PlayStation. He's not. Right. He's not Phil's equivalent when it comes to PlayStation.
So do you think he got pushed out? He got fired?
I don't know. It might not even. Here's the truth, though. On the real, it may not even have anything to do with gaming. You know what I'm saying?
He might just want to leave.
It could be it could be anything. It could be harassment charges, something.
People leave jobs every day.
You know what I'm saying? It might not. Notice they're not saying anything. Like Sony.
That's what I'm saying. It's quiet. That's what I'm saying.
It may not even be gaming related. It could be something bad is happening.
Now look at Peter, look at Mike Ibarra is tweeting out saying this, that, so you can tell he went.
Well, Mike Ibarra, their position is different too. Sean Layden was a little bit way higher than.
Yeah, but it seems like his plan.
What I'm trying to say.
For Sean, who knows what happened with Sean? It may not even be gaming.
Because it's quiet.
It may not be gaming. Yeah. It could be like he got in trouble.
He might be right.
Or he could be.
Well, funny, funny because if you go on his Twitter right now, it still says like SESIE on it, worldwide and all that.
Funneling money out of Sony stock. Who the fuck knows?
You never know, yeah.
But the fact that nobody's talking about it, I think it's more serious than just simply, I want to put games on PC. I think it's a little bit more serious than that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a little bit more serious than that. It's not just that, because that's petty. That's not it's not that big of a deal. If there's that's just creative differences. Let's say if Sean Layden had a creative differences on the future of PlayStation, and Jim Ryan's like, no, we're gonna do this. Then he's just gonna be like, you know what, just turn in your resignation, and then they'll just be like, hey, I'm after 20-something years of PlayStation, it's time for me to move on. They'll come up with some political answer. You understand what I'm saying? So that way there's no questions asked. That way, when Sean Layden looks for a new job, nobody asks him questions like, oh, why did you leave Sony? What's going on? You do a nice political statement. You say it's been a great opportunity, but it's time for me to look for bigger, new adventures. The normal political, kiss baby, shake hand type spiel. But the way this shit played out, you know what I'm saying? He just left. Other companies are also wondering, what the fuck? If he tries to work for Microsoft's going to be like, hey, Sean, what happened, though? You're going to have to tell us something. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's other companies are going to be nervous. You kind of left abruptly,
He should get on control of it rather than it just coming out like that somehow.
He should control the narrative and say something, But
it's
been a couple of days and nobody's saying anything. I think it's more than gaming. Something bigger than gaming happened. Something bigger than gaming. Something happened.
You know what too, though, on P-Right? If it was something that bad, I don't even think PlayStation would even tweet something like that out. It would just be like the rest for sure.
Hell nah, they're gonna try to keep that shit on the rest.
Yo, Sean, it would have been good, having you. PlayStation made the tweet. If it was something crazy, it would have been a dead silence. This man just got banned.
I don't know what the fuck.
No, they have to. I don't know. It's weird because he hasn't said nothing as well. So.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's interesting.
He haven't been on Twitter or nothing like that too. He's usually pretty active.
That's what I'm trying to say. He's been quiet.
That's one thing. Most of the Sony guys, they don't talk a lot on Twitter, which I think is a good thing. That's what gets Phil's in trouble a lot. He loves to talk. He loves to interact with the community. He loves to answer every question, everything. You ask a question, he's up in there. He's gonna answer.
That's what he be fucking up at.
God damn, Phil. Man, you just need to just ignore people. Just ignore them.
Yeah. Phil got the PR questions on deck though. That man is nice with it, yo. He be like, what?
Yo, but sometimes he says some funny shit though. When that dude is like, oh, how come you didn't ship at least a beta? And he's like, you would ship that? Yo, I started dying. Yo, he's like, did you play it? You would ship that? Yo, I was like, yo, Phil's crazy, bro. Yeah. He's like, no, we're not shipping
bro, that shit trap.
Yo, Phil's crazy. He looked at the guy like, you played it? You would ship that?
That interview was legendary, yo.
Yo, man. Yeah, that interview was probably one of the best interviews and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that shit. If anybody don't know what I'm talking about, it's the interview with
Watch it.
With Fortune. Was it Fortune? Forbes. It was Forbes.
Fortune
Forbes.
YouTube. One of them.
It was Forbes YouTube. Oh man, that shit.
It was legendary, bro.
Because the guy's like, oh, maybe what you got, release it in a beta. And Phil looked at him like, did you actually play it? You would ship that?
You crazy?
Yeah, with a serious look.
Like Phil looked at him like, what the fuck? But what was funny is because the interview was like, what, August? It was August time frame? Yeah. People, this was after E3, right? And everybody E3 was like, oh my God, this thing works flawless. I'm like, wait a minute. So how?
No. Peter, I heard it was before that though, the interview.
No. The interview was after E3. It was after.
It came after, but the interview was done before that, apparently.
No, I think the interview was after.
Hell, left for 2 months.
Yeah, it was after.
I left for 2-3
months.
months.
I'm gonna pull it up. It was after because it's on YouTube, and it was after. And I think
I understand. I know the interview came after, but that interview was done before, apparently.
No, they're not gonna hold the interview.
Just look it up.
They're not gonna hold the interview for like 2 months. That's crazy. They're gonna have the interview and not do it. Yeah.
Dudes will talk. I'm trying to xCloud talking about this is flawless.
Yeah, and my man Phil comes out of nowhere and be like, "You would ship that?"
Dog shit.
I should have. You know what? I should have found the old tweets and fucking tagged those old tweets with the picture. Yo, this xCloud works, and then put his picture. You would ship that?
Matter of fact, there's still videos up on people's channel.
Oh shit!
Talking about that.
Oh shit, that shit is crazy, yo. But anyway, yo, so y'all got anything else to talk about? Because we're not doing a 4-hour thing. We're not doing that. Last time we did this shit, that shit was 4 hours. I think we hit the.
Oh yeah.
Y'all not keeping me up tonight.
That was because of fucking J-Dub, bro. He was fighting Nell in tooth.
You and J-Dub kept going with that Gran Turismo shit, man.
Gran Turismo for 20 minutes.
My man was making up alternative facts. Oh, that's not bad.
Not crazy.
Nah, I set up my StreamYard podcast. So everybody wants to know who Zaddy is, and I'll those specs.
So
StreamYard is a new like YouTube.
No.
Yeah,
so StreamYard works like Hangout. If you want to more,
yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's pretty much Hangout.
Yeah, you can have up to 6. You can have 5.
It's the Hangout after the Hangout.
Yeah, it's Hangout pretty much. So
I know them dudes making bread right now.
Put that together later. I put it.
All right, then.
You said Ryan, I ain't hear you.
what happened?
That's on the Puerto Rico. I got a design idea. So
Okay. Oh, I
for his
forgot
background.
to send you that thing. Fuck. All right, I'm gonna do it. So
Peter,
anyway,
I just want to ask you something.
Here we go.
Oh, this man Puerto Rico design layout, man, Bronx, yo, what's going on?
I'm gonna hook him up.
When they announced
Craig will be pooping.
did he hear on the radio?
He said, what?
I'll Craig it up. Craig got that.
Quality, man.
Yeah. Hey, I like my design. I did some stuff on it today. So yeah, I'm excited. I don't know how to use that damn thing.
Nice, brother.
Yeah, Peter, I just want to ask you, did you hear about when the PlayStation 5 got announced? Did you hear anything on the radio or anything? Because I did.
On the radio?
In the UK.
Well, I don't really listen to radio. I got Spotify and shit.
No, I'm just.
You said radio. What's that?
Radio? Is that what you said? Is that what you said? Radio? Like,
Yeah.
Yo, I don't listen to radio.
Oh, did you hear?
Like, I haven't seen.
No,
shit.
I was there. I was doing a job on.
Oh man, people got in
I
presets.
was like, radio, man. I got my playlist and shit. I listen to my reggaeton and that's it.
Yeah, no, I was doing a job at this warehouse and I heard it in the background like PlayStation 5's coming holiday 2020.
Oh yeah,
You know, that was on the radio.
PlayStation 5.
Yeah, they confirmed that.
Confirmed that.
No, but I'm saying the radio, like as soon as they announced it, we knew about it, but as soon as they announced it,
it was already on the radio.
Like they were talking, yeah, it was on the radio.
Oh,
I was in the UK, yeah, and I thought, yeah, man.
You know, funny,
like, this is why you gotta give Sony the credit. Like, if Xbox announced a new generation console, there wouldn't be that much hype. But when Sony announced it, you know there's a new generation coming. And that's
you know what's funny? Like my boy, he not even like a gamer. Like he just got his new crib and all that. So he said, "Yeah, I'm about to get a PS4, right?" Yeah, PS4, but you know it's coming next year. He said, "Yeah, I know the PS5 coming next year." I'm like, "How you know the PS5 coming next year? You don't like listen to gaming news shit."
He's like, "Man, we know."
But he knew. He knew it was coming out next year.
No, like I said, when PlayStation makes a noise, they make a noise, and that's it. They get the generation started.
Hey yo, Ryan, I sent you the thing on Twitter DM.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a very good. Like PlayStation does that. But they know it's a next generation. That helps like Xbox in that sense. Like it's a new console as well because obviously they're doing dog shit.
Yo, I would attribute that to Sony having a movie studio and a music studio. They have a music division and a movies division, and that's all advertising, and that's what they do. So I think they benefit having those type of people as part of their company. You know what I'm saying? The marketing teams and all that shit. So I think that's how they're able to market shit, and they're so good at it because they have pretty much another segment of the company that's dedicated to that shit. That's what they do. It entertains. They create TV shows, movies, programming, all that bullshit.
Gears is really number 17 on the most. Yo, you should have never told me that information,
man,
bro.
I'm telling you, bro. Yo, you need some fuckery? You hit me up. I got data. I got data, bro.
That's crazy, yo. Man, tomorrow's gonna be lit. I'm just letting y'all know that right now.
Yeah, tomorrow morning I'm breaking those specs. Yeah, it's pretty lit.
Is it 9 in the morning?
Who's that?
I'm in there. I need to find out who White Zaddy is, man. For real.
I've already tweeted it out, so everybody's gonna find out who Zaddy is.
Tomorrow, the chat, listen in. Tomorrow, was it 9 in the morning Eastern time?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Eastern.
I'll be having.
We're gonna find out who the infamous White Zaddy is. Cause I don't know who it is. I'm confused. At first, I thought it was Meta, but then I'm like, wait a minute, it's not Meta. So I'm thinking, okay, is it Dealer? It's Dealer.
It's Zaddy.
He just said.
Everybody's gonna find out.
Okay, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out who White Zaddy is.
Here's a plot.
I'm saying it's Dealer.
Here's a plot.
I'm gonna say it's Dealer.
Yeah, here's a plot twist there. Puerto Rico is not Dealer.
Oh, you know who White Zaddy is?
Yeah, no, not Colt.
It's
not Dealer.
It's Colt then.
Nope, not Colt. It's not a Colt. It's not a crap, and it's not a
Foundry.
Is it a person?
Yeah, nope, not. It's not. It's not. It's not a
person.
Oh, it's a person.
It's Cole Eastwood.
He said it's not Colt.
No, that guy's exposed himself. So
I'll tell you what. I'll give you a huge hint. He's got glass. He wore glasses.
Oh,
you talking about that new dude?
There you go.
They call him Jack Reacher.
No, that's either. Yeah, he was. There's the reason why he's called Jack Reacher, and you all can just go listen to his video. So that is flat out reaching.
D-Batch?
D-Batch got fired, so I'm the new tech guy. I don't have to worry about it anymore.
So John, is it John?
Well, you gotta find out tomorrow. Who's that?
It's John.
That's all I need to do. I said glass. All I need to do.
It's John from Digital Foundry.
Oh, I know who.
Who wear glasses though?
He has glasses on his avatar. I'll say that, right? Right? I'm just gonna say that. Am I right? On his Twitter avatar.
I got a picture. I got a picture.
On his Twitter avatar, right?
Bro, the face palm you just did is perfect. That's
I know it is. Oh my god, man, the dude's a good dude, man. He's innocent.
You okay?
I'm lost. Right.
He's like, yeah, okay. He's like, yeah, okay. He says, oh shit, now I know.
I believe you now.
Oh
okay.
Shit.
I see you got a thumbnail. That's a dude. White Zaddy.
Oh shit. Oh shit. These dudes. Oh man, y'all funny. Oh shit, y'all killing me.
It took me a minute to figure that shit out. I'm like, he kept talking about it a lot. Like, oh, this motherfucker talking about.
Oh shit. I'm like, oh shit, y'all crazy. Man, that's crazy. Yo, this. So y'all,
who said
yeah,
that?
yeah,
We broke Puerto Rock immediately. We broke.
yeah, I can't fuck with y'all.
Yo, who sent Joker?
Y'all motherfuckers.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that last
Man, I
month.
gotta see that.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
That movie was all right.
Yeah.
Right.
So for the people who saw it, who's the better Joker? Heath
Ledger, of course.
Damn.
Well, it's two different. Come on now. Heath Ledger was the sociopath. Joaquin's is more of a character study. So if you like the character of the Joker, you'll love this. You know. But
listen,
who did it better?
Listen. Listen. I'm somebody that love the Joker as a villain. My whole YouTube persona is based off the Joker. If anybody didn't know that, like real talk,
We've seen the face paint, nigga. We know.
like, yo, listen. If you knew me back in the day in the console wars going back and forth, you like your Bari, that embodiment is the Joker.
Oh shit!
Saying that Joaquin Joker was bad, but try to humanize him way too much. But
no, that's
there's a lot of little nuggets that they did leave in that movie where it makes it. It might not be like it might just be something like in his thought. I don't want to spoil it. Right. Like I can go like deeper in. I know you ain't seen it yet, Puerto Rock, but
no, I haven't seen it. I'm gonna go see it next.
Simple question. I think Heath was the better Joker. Them imply the same thing, right? They're applying to like social status and how like Heath Ledger Joker was how he wanted to disprove the social norm that regardless if you are this convict or you're this person is the upper class thinking you're biggity, in certain situations you're gonna do this. You're gonna do the same thing.
Right. When in the same position
on the street. Yeah. And he got proved wrong.
It's the most grounded Batman that ever existed. You know what I mean? It's the most grounded. That Dark Knight story felt like it can happen right now in front of us. You know
even the new Joker, it plays upon that same path though. But it just didn't happen yet. You know, it kind of happened, but it's not like fully embarrassed like
Heath Ledger's Joker was at peak. This is just the beginning, like starting off.
I think Joaquin can definitely do some more for sure.
Yeah,
well, it's interesting because obviously the movie's made a lot of money and there's a lot of hype behind it now. So
popular villain, it should make a lot of money.
No, but look at the last Joker, Suicide Squad.
I was trash.
Oh yeah.
That was trash.
That was the more. They played on the more the gangster, the monster.
But it was still done bad. It was still the writing didn't help it, man. The writing didn't.
Why did the Joker have grills?
Liberal hippie.
Exactly right.
Why did he have grills though? We'll have to ask.
Well, Batman punched his teeth out, nigga.
Yeah.
No, but all damn Peter, trust me, you like it. Trust me.
The reason why this is another thing.
The Jared Leto one is the Tekashi 6ix9ine of Joker. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like this is.
This is why I like Heath Joker as well because Heath Ledger Joker it covered so much different aspects of the Joker in the comics where. Like a true origin story, and they embodied that within Heath Ledger. Every time he told us a story of why I got these scars or something different, and that's so the Joker. You know what I mean? So I was just like, yo,
that's all to Chris Nolan. Chris Nolan's probably the best director, writer. He's the best in the game right now. He's my favorite director, writer. Straight up.
But that Dark Knight.
Yeah. Now understand the physicality. Play when he was grabbing people. They were expecting. Well, no, they were. Heath Ledger doing what he did, grabbing people, stuff like that. They didn't expect that to happen. Those looks on their faces, they were really like, "What the hell are you doing?" He caught that. So But Chris Nolan, look, I'm a sci-fi guy. Interstellar, that was so and that was
incredible.
It was. I liked it, but it was still the story was trash. But I liked the movie.
Did you watch it in IMAX?
Oh shit!
I did watch it at IMAX. Yeah, I went to Louisville to watch.
No, funny. I have Interstellar on my Apple John. I still ain't watched that movie.
It was good. It's a good movie, but it misses a lot of the marks. Yeah, it does miss a lot of marks. I like the theme.
Watch it in IMAX 70 mil, especially in 70 mil.
Yeah, you got a super chat, P Rock.
Yeah. Hey, El Matador 809. He says Ghost of Chinos 2020 Game of the Year. Guys, Cyberpunk thumbs down. We gotta be
Final
careful.
Fantasy.
You gotta be careful because The
Remake.
Last of Us 2. That's also
Ori.
2020.
It's gonna be Ori. It's gonna be Ori.
Final Fantasy 7 remake is winning Game of the Year.
It ain't gonna be Cyberpunk because it's called Cyberpunk. No game called Cyberpunk's gonna ever.
But Cyberpunk,
So,
that might be
Cyberpunk, it's got a potential.
You know,
Come on, that's the Witcher, guys.
Cyberpunk got multiplayer though, so I'm just
that's right. It does. You're right. It does.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what's funny about Cyberpunk? A lot of people
Nah, I'm just playing.
give CD Projekt because of the prior games that he created, but they don't do that for Hideo Kojima. You know what I mean? Everybody looking at like CD Projekt Red, right? Everybody gives them the benefit of the doubt with Cyberpunk. Yeah. They say, "Oh, it's going to be a great game because it's CD Projekt Red. They make great games." But Hideo Kojima, he makes great games, but nobody giving him the benefit of the doubt with that strength.
Yeah, they are. I am. I'm getting it day one. That's benefit of the doubt.
Hideo Kojima game, I get day one. I'm not playing.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Peter. The thing with Cyberpunk, it looks like they want to make it like a GTA special, the open world online. I think they want to get. Like, look at GTA. It just kills it every month. It's still in the top 20.
Yo,
I think Cyberpunk wants to do. I think Cyberpunk wants to do something like that. Build the multiplayer. Look at the world. What you can do in the world. Multiplayer.
I have to believe.
I think they're copying that.
I have to believe the only reason why GTA 5 lasts this long and is so popular is because everybody wants to be a street hood gangster. Everybody wants to be a street hood gangster without actually getting shot. It has to be, because that game stays selling in the top 20. Like, at this point, there's not enough platforms to play the game on. Like, the game outsold.
Hey, P-Rock, I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. I gotta go.
All right, later, man.
The
game outsold the platforms and shit. It's crazy.
Yo, P-Rock, imagine that came on the Switch.
That game is selling like hotcakes still, bro.
For 5 years.
What's Grand Theft Auto? Yeah. It's incredible. That's incredible.
That's just gonna be a hit selling this holiday season. Like, who the fuck keeps buying
it won't sell. Well, I might buy it.
Oh, shit.
It'll be the #1 game for Christmas.
I ain't buying it. Yo, I only bought it on PS3. Now I can download it through PS Now though.
Shit.
There you go.
You got limited time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm gonna play that game.
We're gonna cut this shit off right now because this is trash.
Otherwise, we can go for another 4 hours.
Yeah, hell nah, I'm tired. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we get into that GTA 7 fucking shit.
Oh shit! But anyway,
but Peter, before you finish that Joker, trust me, you're gonna love that movie. It's a totally different take. It's a totally different take.
No doubt. I'm definitely gonna see that. But anyway, shout out to the chat.
I think P-Rock gonna tweet out. It was okay.
Yo, I want to shout out to everybody. I want to shout out to the panel that showed up. I appreciate you guys. My man Jay Bari, Shan, all day who just left. Ryan the professional, Big Cloud Game. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for rocking out.
Shout out to White Zaddy. Shout out to White Zaddy.
Yes.
Craig Harris, the voice of Xbox. Top flight security of the world, Craig. You know what I'm saying? And
I got all this information here.
Oh, shit. And tune in tomorrow, 9 in.the morning Eastern time.
My
We're
God.
gonna find out who the elusive White Zaddy is.
Oh, the cat's on next.
Yeah, we're gonna get that. We're gonna get the Scarlet Specs. I will have the Cash App available, and so everybody can hit me up on that. And that'll be good for me too.
All right, shout out to the chat. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel and check out everybody's content. This is your boy Porter Rock 77, your only friend in these YouTube streets. Peace.
No.